It always does it. It did this last. Times the global geek gang of 3, folks.
Hey, we got this, man. We got this.
Yeah, well, more will arrive eventually, we think. But no matter what, we shall persevere. Welcome everyone to Clobberin Times. Issue number 117 for YouTube, 817 overall. Next week marks my 12th year doing this crap. I don't understand how I've done it for 12 years, but there we are. And maybe I'll do it for 12 more. I kind of doubt it, but you never know. But anyway, this is the Global Geek Gang, folks, and just always great to have some fantastic friends here. The great Retro is always. Go, buddy. Retro Dicky is here. And he is the only of the 3 beginner core group that is here, because Ash cannot make it right now. He will try to be in when he can. We all miss him, and we hope he shows up soon. Hope he's doing well. And Jed, we don't know. He's
still asleep.
So we do have our fantastic friend Nick Weiser of 32 Flavors of Nick Weiser channel. Please, I have a link to his channel in my description below. Welcome, Nick. Please go to his channel and support his great channel.
Thank you. Yeah. Hey, awesome to be back. I love being on here. I feel like it's become a ritual now on my Thursday, which is a wonderful thing to have going on. I love being part of this gang. Thursday afternoon with the boys, talking just our usual geek stuff. It's wonderful, and it's a conversation that's truly a gift that keeps on giving. So
chill.
Well, chill. I'll tell you what, dude. You anytime, you're always welcome. You have an open invite, sir.
Thank you. Hey, that's an honor, man. Seriously, that's an honor. And of course, I love how it timed out well that me and Retro are both wearing video game based shirts, and we did not plan that at all. And
we have joining us, of course, our great friend Eric O'Sullivan.
I'm doing well, Clobby. How you doing, Mike? Good to see you. Good to see you, Dickie. Hey, Nick.
What's up, dude?
Hi, dude.
I am checking in, and then I got to bounce because I have a 3:30 date at the Movies pop-up here in Boston. We got day 1. Kevin Smith's going to be there, and hopefully I'll get a photo with him.
a photo with him. Could you punch him in the face for me, if you don't mind?
No, I'll give him a hug.
I hate Kevin Smith.
But with social
I hate Kevin
distancing.
Smith, but I love you, dude. So I'm okay.
Thank you. Oh, I'm looking forward to this. I'm a Cal Rayner apologist too.
No.
Okay, I used to love you. Then I remembered that. We don't love you so much. I'm just kidding.
Oh no.
No, dude. We appreciate you. We were so honored to have you joining us the past couple of weeks on the Global Geek Gang. And dude, you have the standing invite, bro. When you can make it, you're here, brother.
Thank you. I'm happy. I gotta just check in real quick and say hello and goodbye because I'm on my way out the door. And
that's cool,
but
man.
At least it's equally geeky, you know.
Yeah.
You got me $100 for a Happy Meal.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Well, I got a T-shirt, and I got a T-shirt that's modeled after my NHL team. I've got a Buddy Chrysler lapel pin.
Nice.
Got,
There you go.
Yeah, and I got the upgrades too, like a Happy Meal box, and I saw him November 2019 on the Reboot tour, and yeah, I'm just a big fan of his since Clerks, and yeah, I'm just getting.
Raquel.
Well, before you go, let's
Hi,
all say
Raquel.
hello to the beautiful Raquel Briggs, my wonderful first officer, who has to leave in a sec, but she stopped by to say hi. I love you, Raquel. Love
Hail.
you. We all love you.
Hey.
Go.
Wait a second.
We
There's
love
a BSG podcast. Oh,
Yeah,
my
she
goodness.
does one on Thursday nights with our old pal Drew at Supreme Heretic. This is a channel. It's called the Pegasus
Oh,
Actual.
yeah.
They talk about
the
the,
Culture
the
Casinos
new-
brought this up.
yes, she's on regular on there, and
Okay.
Laura. Hey,
Oh,
I got yes, so she's a regular. Of course, Doth is busy. He's ditching us too, man. Everybody's ditching us. We're just
I've heard
kidding,
that-
brothers.
Well, I've also heard you never say Fat Lee Adama around Jane Theory.
Okay, I don't know what that means,
Yeah,
but okay.
you get in trouble. You mentioned Fat Lee Adama around Jane
Really?
Theory, you get in trouble. Yeah,
I
got
don't
in the
know
doghouse.
Jane personally, but oh, really? Oh my goodness!
Oh,
I don't
I
know
was-
Jane
yeah.
personally, but I admire her very much. She's actually a local, lives down here in my neck of the woods, and a lovely lady and very smart. I'm a big fan.
Love her podcast. And I loved you on Lorena today, Nick. That was
Oh, thank
really
you.
awesome.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
we gotta know Nick a bit more. That was awesome.
Hanging out with the beautiful Lorena Creole today was my buddy Nick.
Mhm.
Yeah, man.
She's awesome. I mean, and the fact that right away, like when we mentioned like the Simpsons, like it was like a whole floodgate had torn in, and we just like it was like we already had known each other for a few years, just like that. Once the Simpsons kicked in, and it was great. I can't wait to be chatting up with her, especially. I already know we were talking. We want to talk Simpsons again soon, and I got a whole lot to say on Simpsons, especially as of recent years, and. I'm sure some
I
can figure out
know.
why, but it's gonna be good, and I love to. And I got some Simpsons stuff to show off today too for this
Hell
panel because I got a toy to show off.
Oh yeah.
We
We
gotta
might as well
cancel.
show it off now.
Ooh, well, hi
Eric,
there.
you got it.
Hello. Sorry, I'm
We
late,
gotta
guys.
cancel you, Nick, though.
Hey, yes.
You gotta
Hey,
cancel
hey,
her.
dude.
She's not a boy. Hey, Ash. How's it going?
How's it going, guys? Well, the funny
Awesome.
thing is, I'm late, but I'm still here before Jed.
You're like,
Yes. Yes, you are, bro.
Dude, he was awake. I woke him up and he's fallen back asleep again. Must have.
Probably.
I'm gonna bounce. But
Okay, buddy.
Was saying,
Cheers,
I'm
Eric.
gonna
You
leave
take
with
care,
saying
dude.
that Yeardley Smith should be canceled because she's not a boy and she's been playing a boy for years on this show. And,
Yes.
something's got to be done about this, thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Cancel her.
Cancel them all. Cancel the show.
Oh,
But God bless you.
yeah,
I'll see you
yeah,
next
man.
week. I'll be
Take
here.
care, buddy.
Cheers,
I'll see you all
cheers,
next
Eric.
week.
Take care,
Thank
Later,
you,
dude.
dude.
guys.
See you. Take
All
care.
right, man. The great Eric O'Sullivan, ladies and gentlemen. I want to say hello to some, of course, Ash has popped in, our great buddy Ash. I want to say hello to some friends in the chat who have all popped in. We did not get a chance to say hello to them yet. Of course, the wonderful Raquel Briggs has popped in. Love you, my first officer in our Saturday night Star Treks. Join us 9 p.m. Central for the next installment. 4 more of us is reviewing all of real Star Trek. My buddy Darth Haster's popped in. Hey, bud. Alex James, my friend, good to see you. The Catman, a.k.a. D.D. Myers. Hello. fellow Louisianian, my good buddy Pat S, who said, "What do you say here? You must have man, this thing's what's slow at me.
It's
Have
so
like
you talk about
5,000
getting you monetized, yeah.
I did cross the watch hour thing a while back, but
A
anyway,
while back. A while back.
yeah, not too a couple month or so ago, yeah. The great Dr. Hercule Monkey is here. Some weirdo named Retro Dicky is in the chat. Oh, I'm sorry. Someone's
well, Jed's not here, so I've got to fill in for him.
of
So,
course,
you know,
yeah. I got to pick. You're my reserve abuse.
Yeah,
my abuse goes to you when Jed's not here.
Just directed towards me. Yeah, I'll take
Yep.
it. Yeah.
Minimus Prime is here. Claude Parrish, aka Minimus Prime, is here. Let's see here. Make sure I got everyone before we move on. We want to visit the great Lord Thought, of course. Yo, buddy, look, we love it when you can make it, man, but we're getting some feedback from somebody. I don't know if I got some echoes going on. I don't know if you guys are hearing it.
I'm not hearing anything, and that could just be because I'm crazy. So,
that works. Someone without headsets, I guess. Apollonie's been in. Gotcha.
Clearly,
no, you're good. You're good, man. Just making sure I'm saying hello to everyone who has popped in. All right. Now Jed is here, but should we let him in or not? Is the question. I'm going to take a vote.
Let's think about it. Let's just sit here, hang out for 5 minutes. We'll think about it. Well, now
leave him backstage for like half an hour and just make him wail in anger, waiting to get in.
Ask him what time it is and what day it is. Just see if he can answer that.
James Andrew Morrison, welcome, and New Bomb Turk, welcome. Well, I guess we'll let him in this time because
it'll just be my luck. It'll be my luck. It'll just be my luck to sweep all the other bullshit. I'm so sick of stupid people this week. It's not funny.
I love stupid people around here. I love stupid people.
Oh yeah. I just like to hit a few, especially a few of my family right now. So
I'm sorry, we're here for fun. Hey,
oh, I know.
Wonderful. Purple Valkyrie is here. The beautiful purple. By the way, all right, everyone. I think it's either today or yesterday. Purple, you asked for it. It's not the special song because that's vile. But it's Purple's birthday. So who's going to do it? Sing it with me.
Yeah.
Well, Jed, you've got a wonderful singing voice. Come on.
It's time.
I don't have a beautiful singing voice.
It's time to embarrass Purple on her birthday.
Is it really her birthday?
Yeah.
Nice. Happy birthday, Purple.
Happy
birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Purple. Happy birthday to you.
And now she's going to wish she never has another birthday in her life. I'm sorry about that.
Now the Chinese version, Juni Shunger Kwai.
Hey, wait. And then you got to do the Indian version. Come on, Ash, sing it.
Happy birthday to you.
My. Love you, Purple. You're the best. It is so great to see you.
Thank you, Purple.
Lord Thoth.
Yeah.
The great Eric K is here. Yo, buddy.
Hey, brother.
Hey, man. Good to see you, bud. Well, my friends, it is just an open geek, anything goes. It's kind of a global geek gang today. Had a fantastic time the past 2 weeks, and a lot of that is to do with our buddy Jed. He got us the great Robert Meyer Burnett joined us last week. And it was chaotic because I had some problems with StreamYard starting out, but had a fantastic time. It was really something. 2 weeks of talking Green Lantern. Although, yes, it's true in part 2, we strayed a bit and went all over the place. Nevertheless, it was kind of just a follow-up show because we all, it was, again, I don't know about everyone else. We all love Green Lantern. It was a lot of fun talking some GL. And along those lines, before I get started on something I have a surprise for Ash.
Oh, God, there we go.
But before we get started, see,
there's another Man of Steel Sucks.
He judges me.
But you've spiced it up.
No. It's not.
Oh, yeah.
You'll sort of. Well, it's a good surprise.
I didn't tell him yet. I didn't tell him yet
Okay.
either. So
Before that, however, I would be remiss if I didn't say just a little bit of a tribute here. The Global Geek Gang, of course, paying tribute to one of the 10 members in the initial pantheon of the Clobberin Times Mark C. Comics Creator Hall of Fame. Would have been 95 the day before yesterday was his birthday. The great legendary artist Gil Kane, one of my all-time favorite artists. And I love, and I mentioned it a little bit last night, and I wanted to mention it with the Global Geek Gang. One of the great all-time comic book artists in the pantheon of greats. Again, because we talked about Green Lantern, he co-created the Hal Jordan Green Lantern with John Broome and Julius Schwartz.
Yeah,
he had a great run on Spider-Man after Romita Senior's run on Superman in the early '80s, run on Conan after I believe after Barry Windsor Smith. Remember with that run there. Starhawks, Captain Action, Tarzan strip, tons and tons of covers. His name is Savage. So many other, too much work to mention. Unfortunately, Minimus and I were lucky enough to meet him a couple of times.
I was lucky enough to meet him once.
Born April 6th, 1926, as Eli Katz. He later became Gil Kane, one of the just monsters of the field, just absolutely the greatest of all, one of the greatest. And his Gil Kane cover, nothing quite like it. Love his interiors as well. And so one of the greats. Just a little bit of love going out to the great Gil Kane, everyone.
God, look at his Daredevil on the right. Jeez,
I love that. That's from a Daredevil cover. Daredevil cover. Nothing like a Gil Kane work.
Yeah. He was an awesome dude too. And the one time I did get to meet him, I got to hang out with him for like 45 minutes to an hour, just talking about comic books. And I was like, I'm sure there's every other geek and nerd. He goes, no, I enjoy it because it's something I loved back in the day, and it's something that you feel strongly with. So he goes, go ahead, ask me any questions you want. And I was like, really? He's like, yeah. It was like it was refreshing to see that somebody actually would want to hear from something that he hears every single day from people. Oh, you're awesome. You're like, no, I loved what I do. You go up to Tom Baker will talk to you. He goes, yeah, I was the doctor. What about it? He goes, I am the doctor, and I always will be the doctor. I will be the doctor. I love talking about Doctor Who. Gil Kane was like that. He was awesome. So,
well, like Minimus says, and much like Jed, Gil Kane does not give short answers.
No, he doesn't.
Awesome. That's awesome. That's all more reason why to talk to him. I want a guy. I want someone who's very thorough and expressive with their statements.
Yeah, he didn't, and I was like, he pulled me to the side because it was his last person for the day, and I got there late because I thought I was gonna miss him. I go, I'm sorry, I'm late. I almost missed you. He goes, to make up for that, nobody else is here. How about we go to lunch? We just sit down, have a lunch, and talk about comic and what I worked on. I was like, you're not ribbing me, are you? He's like, no, dude. And so I was just like, that's awesome.
A couple of the memories that Minimus and I have about Gil Kane was one of the things, and I think it was Minimus. Yeah, he's going to correct me because I'm getting the story kind of messed up. I love that one thing he said about the lousiest inker who ever lived, Vince Coletta. He called him the DC Comics first sanctioned abortionist. If you know anything about Vince Coletta, but he also said of the great Jack Kirby, when I believe Minimus or something said something like about. He mentioned something about he was trying to be obviously diplomatic, saying Jack Kirby is one of the greatest comics artists of all time. Before he got the sentence out, I believe Gil Kane stopped and said, wait, Jack Kirby is the greatest comic book artist of all time.
Yeah.
That's from the great Gil Kane, and he would know, and he was right, of course.
Yeah. And I when I talked to him, and then he goes, well, I heard I heard through the grapevine you met Kirby and Stan too. And I was like, huh? How did you know this? And he was like, we all talk. Like people in the comic book, because I would go around, like I said, I grew up in the conventions. So it would freak me out when I would go up to somebody. I haven't even met them yet, and they're like, "Oh, you're so and so, aren't you?" And then like, "Yeah, how did you know?" And he's like, "Well, I heard from so and so too." And I was just like, Gil Kane. This is my first minute. I was like, Gil Kane knows my name, and then I was like, I was like, how did he know? So he heard through the grapevine that I've been hanging out with a bunch of the other creators, and he goes, "I just want to sit down and talk to you and have lunch, and then I'll."
Gil Kane said that to you?
Yeah,
I'm
and
not sure I believe
he was. Oh, shut up!
That's
Like-
okay. I'm just
Yeah, but it was just. I will say I have been very blessed, like you have, Mike, like to meet some of the greatest people in comic books, like before they passed away. You know, it's just, you know,
yes, it is.
yeah, it is. Yeah. So, you know, me and Mike literally basically met most of the same people before they passed away, and actually got to hang out with them and stuff. So it's just, yeah, it's just, it was an honor to actually be around people like this that actually started the industry that we loved. And when I got older and stuff, but I never got to meet him, you know, but this is when I was much younger. So they only knew me because of my parents and somebody else. Like I said, couple of the other comic creators that I had been hanging around with at the conventions at the time. So it just, you know, so.
Mark D with the C, you're more than welcome to join us. You have an invite, sir, because Mark D with the C has a new channel, and he's a great friend of the channel. So
yeah.
Ooh,
Mark D with a C is awesome. You guys need to go subscribe to his channel. He's gonna have some really cool videos and content coming up. So
yeah, Vince Coletta was probably one of the very worst inkers in DC Comics, and there's the story you see from Minimus saying we're standing there at a table, and where Gil Kane was being inundated by fans signing autographs and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, sometimes you don't know if he's friends with the guy or not, so you start saying, Vince Coletta may be a nice guy, but and then Gil Kane said, actually, he was not a nice guy.
yeah.
Good, because he sucks. So I'm glad he was not a nice guy, actually.
Yeah, like
Eric
Mike said.
K.
Oh, sorry, Mike. I didn't want.
No, go ahead.
Like Mike said, you didn't know who was who because, Mike said, sometimes the guys hated one another, so you had to be careful who you brought up. Like, so you know, so there was some bad blood between a bunch of the creators.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, so
Eric
there was.
K.
So you had to be careful. You're like, okay, but they didn't say who they knew me for, but they said, I heard you've been going around and you know. And a bunch of other guys, but like Mike said, yeah, it's true. If things got brought up, like Mike said, yeah, you would know.
Hey, Chris Berger, great Canadian wrench. Good to see you, buddy.
What's up, Chris?
Hey,
Good to see you,
Chris.
my friend, as always, brother. You're the man.
King of the wrenches.
So yeah, great Gil Kane, member of my pantheon. In the Mark C. Clobberin Times, Comics Creator Hall of Fame. In a month or two, we'll do the second installment of that. But the top 10, or the Big 10, as we should say, and I don't mean a college football conference. The big pantheon, of course, Gil Kane sits among them. That's one of the greatest comic book artists of all time, and I'm just so glad that I got to meet him twice. And so anyway. And I'm glad Jed got to meet him too. So love his stuff, and there you go, folks.
Yeah, and he got to sign my comics too afterwards. So I was just like ecstatic. Yeah.
And then later, he told me how aggravated he was with Jed, and Jed. I didn't want to tell that story here, but Jed forced me to. He really hated Jed.
He's like, there was this idiot kid that came up running, bumbling up, and like, oh my god, am I late? Did I miss you? He's like, no, I'm the last guy. So.
Oh yeah, there you go, Joe. Joe Rubenstein. I love Kane. Well, artists like certain inkers for them. Sorry, we're not going to get into the weeds of comics or that much.
Yeah.
A lot of people aren't interested in that. But Joe Rubenstein told me that Gil Kane hated his inking and told the editor never to let him ink, never let that kid ink him again. I thought Rubenstein was a pretty good inker, but Gil Kane knows more than I do. That's for sure. So
Yeah.
Eric K's
Yeah.
going after me as always. Let's see what we got.
Eric trying to start the mess.
Stanley is the one above all the pantheon. Yes, so much so I just don't feel like putting him on there. He's just too good to be in my Hall of Fame. That he'll never be. Stanley and Bob Kane will never be in my Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Anyway, I have a surprise for Ash. Does everyone want to hear my surprise for Ash?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't dread it, Ash. Come on, man.
I know what it is. You're gonna like. Go ahead. You're gonna like.
Yeah, you're gonna sort of like it.
Yeah, you're gonna sort of like it. I already know. You're gonna sort of like it. I already know what it is.
Oh man!
It's because of you, Ash, that I did this. I did this.
Yeah.
And it's not a picture, not a joke. We're not messing with it. I actually watched one of your favorite movies because of you.
Ooh.
Green Lantern.
Yes, sir.
Oh, hey!
I have not watched it since 2010 in the theater and never wanted to again, but because of you, I watched it again the other day.
Ooh.
I'm pleased to hear that. What did
Let's
you
hear a verdict.
You all have to. You all have to understand something.
Come on, we're all friends here.
There are
Be
11
honest.
years of water under the bridge of cinema and movies being so horrible that can make you softer. I truly believe our critical. What the hell is going on back there?
That was me. Sorry,
dude. I truly believe that bad things all the time can make us soft towards some stuff. So I don't know if I trust my critical instincts anymore. They may not be what they once were. However, I think I had, pretty much the same opinion, Ash, in the sense that I liked a lot of stuff like on Oa and wish there would have been more of it, and thought there are a lot of scenes in the film that are just horribly constructed. I think, other than like joking and teasing you about it before, I've always thought the movie had its good points. And I've always thought a lot of people, for example, have ragged on Ryan Reynolds. I had no problem with this casting. And I think he would be a good Al Jordan with a better script. The script is really, really poorly done and poorly put together. I don't like a lot of his doubt. Hal Jordan is supposed to be cocky. He played him that way at the beginning of the film. And then there are a lot of scenes. His doubting that he wants to be Green Lantern stuff. I understand that's movie stuff. It doesn't really work for me as well. It's not really conducive to the character as much. A little doubt here and there, but the whole time he did until the very, very last couple of scenes. I thought there were some of the scenes early on. This movie takes 35 minutes to get to anything to do with him in that really gaudy costume, which I cannot get into.
Yeah, that costume is just awesome.
Nevertheless, it's a superhero movie, so you want the superhero in the costume.
Yeah, of course.
He would have been a better Guy Gardner, just to be honest.
I don't think so. I think he's fine for Hal Jordan. In fact, I think I would prefer him for Hal Jordan before Guy Gardner.
Oh.
I have no problem with it. I really do. I like the actor, and I like him for Hal Jordan. I think he's fine. I think there's some script issues, but I think his performance is excellent. And I think I really like Ryan Reynolds, sorry. And I think there are little things, and this is a nitpick, but it just kind of speaks to the mentality of these idiots making the film. Why is the lantern a stupid vase that you could buy at a flea market? It was horrible.
They wanted to make it look really alien and relic like.
Yes, they did. They should have just stuck with what it should be.
Yeah, I said that too.
I hear you, Ash. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ash.
I was just going to say, I personally prefer that design because the original one looks too much like a lantern. As in,
it was the point.
yeah, I know. But if you think you want it to be a lantern, but also they're from an alien world, then it looks too much like a terrestrial lantern.
Yes,
and you want it to look like an alien relic. So I prefer the Green Lantern film design.
Yeah, but lanterns on Earth may come from and be inspired from alien lanterns, because after all, a Green Lantern did land on Earth many, many years ago. That's just where Alan Scott got his lantern from. So someone saw that and copied it. But in all seriousness, I'm just kind of messing around with you there. It looks like glass, though. It looked like shit to me. But I hear you.
Fair enough.
No, you make a fair point there. On balance, though, it's easier to enjoy in 2021 in some aspects. And even though I really don't like the way they used Hector Hammond. I don't really think he should have been used. There's still now. I don't have this. I'm going to get you to tell me a little about the extended cut because I don't have that. I don't think this was that. So I want to. This was filmed, by the way, down here in New Orleans, down my neck of the woods, and you could, and sometimes you can see some of that if you're from it. You go, well, where is that Coast City? Is it? No, anyway, but I don't know if they were calling it Coast City in the movie. I can't remember. I don't. Like I said, is gaudy and kind of maybe a little. People bitch about CGI a lot. I don't bitch about it that much. I don't sweat it that much. The Oa stuff is, again, for me, the most entertaining stuff in the film. I can watch that stuff all day. I don't really like using parallax. I think that was a bad mistake. I can't stand parallax anyway. I understand. My only time parallax has been any good to me is when Johns fixed him in Rebirth.
Yep, agreed. Wholeheartedly agreed. They should have not went the way of a Galactus cloud for him. Especially
I hate that.
Really? A cloud again?
This should have been a smaller story about his training and with Sinestro, because Mark Strong is terrific as Sinestro.
Yes.
Yeah,
he really was
awesome. I got to say that he was awesome as there.
I would have made this, Ash, I think I would have made this a little bit smaller, more personal film about Hal Jordan getting started. And I don't think he needed to save the world from parallax or anything like that in his first outing. I think they could have done a little bit better with that. I mean, the same director, who is a dummy in some ways, he did Casino Royale, which to me is not a James Bond film, but a good action film. But that film did center around telling Bond's beginning, even though I don't like the Daniel Craig stuff. I like that movie as a movie. I think this could have been a little bit more like that, but they kind of went for the cliche, this is his first outing, he needs to save the world. I think you look at Superman 1 in 1978, people like to criticize some of it for the turning the world back stuff, and that doesn't bother me. But my point being in that one is it was about Superman's origin. It was let's things breed. Now they were making 2 movies back to back. A lot of people don't know. But they definitely didn't have him. I mean, he saved California, but it wasn't like this world-shattering thing. Other than that, it was just it was more of a straightforward. Let's get started with Superman adventure. The next part was going to be in Superman 2, even though they were filming them back to back, was him saving the world from the villains. Build up slowly to that. I think they should have kind of followed that model a little bit with this one. Let Hal breathe a little bit more. Give us more Hal scenes. So I actually think the movie had some good points in it. I think most people's criticism, unless they just didn't like Reynolds, which I don't agree with, I think most people's criticism stems from a story that really falls apart at the end, and maybe using Parallax and Hector Hammond was not a very good idea. Your thoughts on that? Because I know you really like this.
Yeah, well, the way I look at it is probably a good thing that they went too big and saved the world. Even though it is cliche, they're trying to bring Green Lantern to the big screen for a fresh audience as well as the original people. So if they do a small cut personal storyline around Hal, then it will appease a lot of the comic book fans. It will be a lot more personal, but I think because a lot of people, a lot of the normies wouldn't know who Green Lantern really is, might have just seen or heard of him or her through comics or hearsay here and there, then they might be turned off by a more personal storyline rather than a big CG spectacle. And a lot of people have issues with the CG. I mean, this came out in 2010. Yeah. So at the time, that was the most expensive, most advanced CG they had. So, and compared to today's day and age, it looks absolute crap. But it was the most advanced thing they had at the time. So it's interesting to say this. Yes, everything, I agree. Everything does seem quite rushed. I did get that feeling watching it. But I think at some point they did say they were maybe exploring some things in future movies, but maybe they got cut later in the process, so they condensed things down. I'm not 100% sure on those details, but you could definitely tell it could have been stretched out into a trilogy, and you could have had one movie with Hal's origin, one movie training Sinestro, training Hal, and then the big bad in the third film, as well as a few villains like sprinkled along the way, and then it would have been much better, more cohesive. But I think, given the material they had to work with, it was mostly Jeff Johns' work, and Jeff Johns was very heavily involved in the creative process. So I think personally they did quite well given what they were trying to do.
Yeah, like I said, I do understand that. Again, it was like you said, it's kind of little. It does have that feel of being rushed a little bit, but I just think there were some bad calls, like I say, story calls that I think would have made it better in terms of, again, that costume. Jeez, not just because of CGI. I don't like, it's really bright green. It's kind of.
It looks like body paint at times. It looks like body paint at times. It's kind of freaking. I'm like, you might as well go to a goth rave club with that on.
Well,
They're right on
there
it.
was a reason for that. There was a reason for that. They, the costume designer, as I said a couple of weeks ago, the costume designer wanted to make like a second skin almost. So the way she designed the costume,
succeeded.
Yeah. The way she designed the costume was she looked at anatomy books and used actual muscular profiles of the human anatomy and incorporated it into the lines and contours of the suit itself. So that's the reason for that design. And she wanted to make it fully CG. It was her decision. And again, the technology at the time, I personally thought they did a great job.
No, yeah, I think they should have thrown some more black and white into the costume like it's in the regular costume. Personally, I would like to have seen that, like more of the you know how the middle of his costume is kind of this black. And I guess you didn't have to go with the white boots or gloves or anything, but I would like to see it. If not that, at least mix it up a little bit with the dark, maybe to make the green a little darker, like it is in the comic book. Again, that's just aesthetic stuff I'm talking about. What I would ask though, Ash, is the extended cut. I'm presuming that the HBO Max thing that I watched it on doesn't have that. Are there any things added to the film from the theatrical that you know of?
I can't remember because the last time I saw the original cut was literally years ago, and I've just had the extended cut since. So I'll have to go back and watch the two and see what was incorporated.
Oh, I got you. I'm just curious because I've seen that there's an extended cut. I haven't seen that one. I don't know. So.
Excellent, very excellent. Speaking of, I was rewatching on HBO Max because I've been showing my girlfriend movie. I had her watch God, was that one Emerald Knights? She loved it.
That one.
Yeah, it's so good. Like I'd seen it before. It'd been a while, but I had her watch it because she's pretty much, as far as Green Lantern lore, she's a bit of a normie. And I showed her that, and she's like, "Whoa, this is awesome!" And she's like, "Oh, I can't believe there's a planet that's a lantern." It blew her mind. Like there's a planet. And now she was like, "Oh my god, I gotta." So she's already taken off with one of my Green Lantern paperbacks and is gone to work on reading. So it worked putting that movie on for her. Now she's borrowing some books to read while she's at work. So I love that. So mission succeeded.
That's one of the best ones. Anyone who is, if you like animation and if you have not seen and you are interested in Green Lantern at all, First Flight is okay. I have some issues with it, but it's kind of, I watched it again later and it's kind of all right. But I would watch First Flight, but you should also definitely watch Emerald Knights.
Yep. Agreed.
It's terrific. I mean, and it was a bunch of short stories. You learn a lot about the Green Lantern Corps. And of course, it has that Bulfunga story about Mogo, of course, created by Alan Moore. So good, even though they're
I know. It's funny because she even mentioned once again, it was even cool to hear from a Nori perspective. She's like, "Oh, there could have been totally another hour I would have been invested," because she was just so blown away by how rich the lore was. and she even echoed statements that I've been saying on streams that you could do all. I mean, the Lantern Corps basically is its own DC universe if you think about it, because the whole 3600 sectors and all that stuff.
Yeah,
it blew her mind how rich the content was. And now, once again, the fact that now she's borrowing my books and reading is like, yes. So it got her to read them. So I'm happy, very happy, and now she knows characters' names right when she sees them too, which is cool.
It's such a great and fascinating science fiction concept. I think that's why we were able to spend so much time on it the first week and even the second week. And it lends itself to so much. It's a brilliant concept for comics and for any kind of science fiction, fantasy realm type stuff. And I'm very pleased that Raquel came up with the idea to do that, and Ash pushed me on it, which I appreciate, because he reminded me about it. And I appreciated that, and it turned out to be two of the most fun shows I've ever done because of that. And here we are still talking a little bit about gaming.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, great. Well, problem being, Avon lives, buddy. Welcome. Good to see you there, sir. Good to see you.
I mean, we've got enough Green Lantern content to have a part 3, even a part 4. So
you can do so much. Well, that's not so much. You could do.
I mean, there's
much.
even the video games as well. There's a bunch of content in the video games.
Mike B. Hail,
Mike B. Now, there's a video game?
Yeah. There's a Green Lantern video game called Green Lantern: Rise of the Manhunters, and it was released on PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, Nintendo Wii, DS, and 3DS back in 2011. Now, the whole synopsis of that was Sinistra's son betrayed the Green Lantern Corps to the Manhunters, and then all that stuff happened, and they had to try and sort shit out, basically. And yeah, that's the general premise of it. Let me just look over.
Were you digging for them graphics?
No, I'm digging through my notes from a couple
I
of
didn't
weeks
know
ago.
about that game. Wow.
it was okay. I was like, yeah, for the time it was okay. But if you go back and look at it now, it's kind of basic.
Doesn't help that it was coming out. I mean, one, you had already had some cool Spider-Man games that had come out, and also right around the Batman Arkham games too.
Yeah.
And those, as far as superheroes go, those games have left such a gold standard, and you're competing against those. And once again, I don't think they knew what they're dealing with when it came to the Green Lantern. I feel like they were just they were just given the property, say, okay, figure out what to do really quick with this so we can time it out for the movie.
You know what I wish? You know what I wish? I wish Rocksteady would do a Green Lantern game. I wish they would do a Superman game and a Wonder Woman game, and then have a Justice League game, because they said they want to do a game universe. Now they talked about Clark and Superman by name both in like the last game. They said, "Oh yeah, Clark," because Bruce said something about Clark. You go, Clark was, and then other people said Superman was there. I was like, and then they've been cock teasing us about Superman game, because you know how much I love Superman. I just like, come on, give us the Superman game, like, just please. And then like do a Green Lantern game. I would just be happy if we got like a combination of the three, and like, there's so much cool stuff they could do, and I know Rocksteady can do it, but everybody goes, Superman's too hard to do. No, you did Batman.
Not.
Like, do you know how hard it was to, like, I know Batman's more ground, but the
Well, they
extent
have a sort
did.
of connected universe in the Injustice games.
Yeah,
They
but I
have a
want a
connected
proper,
DC
I want a
universe.
proper
That's not the real DC
Rocksteady.
universe. So
Yeah, it's not
okay,
the real.
I
I
see
want
what
a,
you mean,
I want a proper Rocksteady game.
well, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Proper
I love Green Lantern.
Superman on top of it. I'm tired of
Yeah.
evil Superman.
Like, I want the
real
world's
Superman.
finest. I want a world's finest heroes game from Rocksteady. Like,
Ooh. I would love that.
Look, they're obsessed, and this is the Snyder age now. There was a time when people loved the evil of the Snyder banality and his nihilistic shit was in the minority. Now, because of this insane time we live in, they're all in love with this Snyder crap. So from now, you're going to get one of two things: either Snyder warped characters like that, Screw 52 warped versions of these characters, and,
I love that.
or not even that. You'll just get crappy woke garbage versions of them. You're not going to get any of the in between.
I got some news on this. Somebody dropped some news in my lap last night. I can't say who it came from, but I got some news from this last night that somebody dropped in the middle of the night of all things. It's like probably get people drop things in my lap in the middle of the night. So I'm like, okay, do I sit on this? But I saw that a couple YouTubers and some news outlets already said something, so it's safe to say. Did you know The Rock is fighting for Cavill to come back as Superman?
I mean,
here's my thing. Okay, and I think Gary said something about this too. Do not get your hopes up on this one because they want the bastardized version of Superman.
Well, they want the Snyder shit. So
yeah.
Hell.
But here's my thing. But Rock, here's my thing. Rock was at one time a good guy. He was all about, fans and all this other stuff before he got kind of brainwashed by his, people over there in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Or whatever they have on him right now because, little boy hush. He's being a brat right now. So
I get the idea of fighting for something in a perfect world, but the thing is, what he's fighting for, he's just fighting just so he can hang out with his buddies. Which, in theory, that sounds good. But as far as the lore of what they're playing with, the sandbox that they're diving in, it's like I couldn't care any less.
Yeah, because they want a bastardized version of it. Like they want to bring him in because he would have been in the first Shazam movie, but there was too many people fighting across the aisle on both aisles. Well, no, you can't bring him in. No, you can't. But then they're like, okay, I want to bring him in, and I want to bring in they said they want to make some more movies out of this, and I was like, and I heard the words "Kingdom Come," and I was like, leave that alone, do not touch that.
Oh, God,
because we know what they're gonna do if they bring Kingdom Come to the movie screen. It is gonna be God. Leave it alone. It's gonna be god awful because they mentioned the scene with Captain Marvel. Yeah, it's the proper name. People get over it. It's not Shazam. It's Captain Marvel.
Right.
Okay. Yep. Between Captain Marvel and Superman, like Clark and Billy, and basically, and they were talking about the Kingdom Come scene, and I was like, oh, dude, guys, just please don't not right now at this time period because I know what we're gonna get. Like I know it's gonna be terrible.
That's the problem. Now we don't live in a time where you can go, I really wish they would do so and so, because now you stop yourself and go, oh no, it's Hollywood. I better not. I don't hope they do that anymore.
Yeah. Like right now, you remember when we're like, oh God, wouldn't it be great if we could get a Batman movie and like an Avengers movie and all this stuff, and we got to see it, and then we had 10 awesome years, well, some of it, but we had like 10, maybe 15 years of cool shit that came out. Like, we had Iron Man, and even though we rip on the Green Lantern movie, we got a Green Lantern movie, dude. But Ryan Reynolds,
right? Yeah, it's got. Again, I like being able to talk about its flaws or strengths rather than have to say it was just woke crap and it pissed me off. That it's nice that that's not there for sure.
Yeah, and so, but now whenever and this is everybody in the fandom. Whenever they go, well, so-and-so wants to do this, we're like, no, leave it alone. Because everybody knows what's going to come out of it, So it's super frustrating.
It's even more frustrating because, I mean, say what you will about the MCU, but early on in the MCU, I saw when movies would come out, not only would I see them opening night right away, so that was fun, but B, what was more fun is it was fun to speculate, what storyline could they tackle? Yeah. Nowadays, you can't even speculate what storyline could they potentially tackle. It's, oh God, how woke is it going to be? Yeah. We went from speculating what direction the movie's going to go to how woke is it going to be. And I miss that feeling so much.
I think, here's my thing, and I'm just saying this, and I know I'm going to get some flack from it. Jon Favreau started the MCU with Iron Man, right?
Yes, he did.
Yes.
I think they should have Favreau and, Feige at the top, and then you have some people that, like, Disney wants money, and they need to stop this bullshit of virtue. If you want money, put the right people in to do the job.
The people in
Okay.
charge of the creative stuff for the most part don't want money, though. It's only the shareholders that do. A lot of those
Yeah,
people they've got their money. They don't care about the company.
Yep,
It's
they don't
just,
care at all.
It's just frustrating. And then we had that disastrous, stupid final season of Supergirl return this week,
Dude,
which
if
I told.
But Disney went belly up tomorrow. Bob Iger and Kathleen Kennedy would still have plenty of money in their own pockets.
Oh yeah,
they don't give a shit.
Yeah, and then everybody else that worked for Disney would be shit out of luck.
Yeah,
Like-
but the people calling the shots are going to be
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, they're gonna be fine. The way they see it is if they burn this property in the ground, they don't care because, and it's one way of saying it's another way of saying, hey, look, we beat the patriarchy. We're one step closer to victory.
Right?
Yeah,
They don't give a shit.
Nope.
no, they don't.
But anyway, it is sad that we can't even say anymore. You know what I would like to see? I'd like to see this character finally get a film, or that's something that really is a shame we're not there, because the first thing that comes into your mind is, oh yeah, but they would ruin it with wokeness, and crap like that. So when something doesn't have that stuff in it, you at least got to give it a little credit, but it doesn't make it good. Now we're getting into kind of this strange kind of a trick box where a lot of people will give something a pass. If you say, was it any good? They'll go, well, it didn't have a lot of woke crap. Okay, great, but was it any good?
I say that a lot too.
I do it too now.
Yeah, you do too now.
But you know what? I'm saying you should give it the credit when it doesn't have that crap.
Yeah.
But it can't be your end sentence. You can't go, oh, it was not woke, so it was good. That doesn't make it good.
I will say this: did anybody see the Ghostbusters teaser with the Mr. Puff, Stay Puff?
Yeah,
Okay,
I don't know why.
I don't know what to form off of that. I really don't.
Okay, here.
You what now?
What'd you say, Nick?
Yeah, I don't really know what to form. I mean, it was like what 20 seconds. I can't really form anything off of that. I mean, it was like, oh, I don't really have an opinion. And the thing is, I get why they put it out, because at first I was kind of confused.
Yeah.
But then, like, Tom from Midnight's Edge posted that photo of the cereal, the Ghostbusters cereal that had the mini Marshmallow Man. So it's like, oh well, I guess they had to put out that footage since that they didn't want.
Yes.
They wanted the trailer to show. They wanted the trailer to get out first, and then to show the cereal, so it didn't spoil. Which I'll give them that. It made sense why they put that out there first for the marketing purpose of the cereal.
Yeah.
So I get that. But as far as I need to see actual footage in order to judge it.
I have a feeling we're gonna get something in between. Like, that's my feeling here. We're gonna get something that isn't entirely all woke, but it's gonna be like, hey, here's some callbacks and that make you feel like member berries.
Yeah.
Member berries, basically.
Before we go on with that, because I do want to continue with it, but Pat asked the question. I want to bounce it off the panel because I'm not sure about this. Pat does, looks like Hulu loves Dan Harmon, and he's a jerk off, and his friends. One of the things Harmon has been working on for years is the Sirens of Titans. Is this a good fit for Hulu, you think? What is the Sirens of Titans? Anyone here know?
I don't know. I'm clueless, actually. I'll admit it.
Esh, anybody?
Sorry, what was the question?
What is the Sirens of Titans? Do you know what that is? I mean, Pat, I'm not sure if anyone knows about that, bud.
Nope.
Okay, well, it's nothing to do with Titans, because Titans, of course, is something I'm assuming.
Yeah. They got the Titans show on.
Yes, I don't think he's talking about that, though.
Yeah,
so I'm sorry.
I haven't even heard of that. So
if I had to guess, is it DC related at all?
No, it doesn't sound like it.
I wouldn't think so, because there's already a Titans show, right? So
yeah, it doesn't sound like it.
If I had to guess, and if it was DC related, Sirens of Titans would be like the female heroes or villains of the Titans, because the GC Gotham City Sirens are Catwoman, Ivy, and Harley Quinn.
But
so putting two and two together.
Wouldn't you think that would be HBO Max and not Hulu, though?
I have no idea.
Because
yeah, I suppose.
So I don't know, but he'll I'm sure he can clarify that.
Hulu is Disney, and Disney is Marvel.
Oh, okay, it's a Kurt Vonnegut novel. Dude.
Oh, there we go.
Well, man, totally. Well, I know Slaughterhouse-5, but I got to admit I don't know that book. So there you go. I'm an idiot.
It's all good.
Well, I would tell you this then. If it's Dan Harmon and it is a novel that is important to you, be concerned. Be very concerned.
Because he's gonna turn it. Rick and Morty's kind of cool, but he's gonna turn it. Did you see the new series that came out on Hulu? It's Rick and Morty, just different shit. That's all it is. It literally is Rick and Morty 2.0 with different characters. Like,
see, we got it. We have a very knowledgeable chat here. If you don't know something, they will.
yeah.
And I love them.
I don't like that new show that's on Hulu. It's just
The only thing I want out of Hulu is season 3 of The Orville. Damn it.
Oh yeah, I heard a rumor. No, take this with a grain of salt. That Disney's buying it.
Orville?
Yeah.
Oh, I will.
This is a rumor I heard through the grapevine that Disney's trying to purchase it. I need to stress a rumor right now. Okay, so
if that happens, I will take a hostage. I swear.
Yeah, and you know, yeah.
Oh
I heard Disney is not too happy because it is on Hulu, and so they want to purchase it.
Yeah, but doesn't Disney own Hulu?
Yes, that's the reason why they want
like
to do it.
33% of it, something like that.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, that's the reason why they want it. It's exclusively on Hulu, so they want to own it lock, stock, and barrel.
Well, so they could put it on Disney Plus and all the.
Yeah, so they can go, so it can be on Disney Plus and be on Hulu.
Just give me the 3rd season, since we're probably not going to get much more than that.
Yeah.
At least one more. I know it's only. I mean, they call what they call seasons these days are 12 freaking episodes. But
Yeah, this isn't a season nowadays. But like I said, take that with a grain of salt. I hope.
Yeah.
Dude, I hope that is not true. But I've been hearing through the grapevine, and I've been like, oh, just. But it's already been out there, so I did confirm.
Oh, I can believe it.
Yeah, it's already like I don't like. I'm like with other things, and I've talked to Tom and like some other people. I don't release shit until I know it's out there in the open and I know it's true or like at least plausible, So
well, we'll see.
It that worries me extremely.
Yes. Look,
because it is a realistic because Disney has more money than God, like Amazon and Google and Apple, and we have the 4 idiot companies gathering up everything, gobbling up and destroying everything. So, yeah.
Well, anyway, panel. Let me ask you all just briefly. Did anyone see GVK yet? Godzilla versus.
Yes.
Oh hell yeah! I did. We did a show. Purple was actually on our show this last Saturday.
Yes,
about
indeed.
it. So
I would love for Purple to join us if she'd like to tonight. But man, she's probably busy. I mean, tonight for over there. But again, she got the invite, Perp. But if you're busy, we got you. Because I know what you're doing. But you were an open invite always to the Global Geek Gang for you, Purple. All right, GVK. Last night, of course, my good buddy Flash and I reviewed it. We talked about it. He hated it. I actually enjoyed it. Now, this is one of those things. I didn't disagree with a whole lot of what he said, and yet I still loved it. If that makes any sense to you,
it does. It does. It makes a lot of sense.
Because his basic problem was it was too dumb for him. I said, "It is pretty dumb."
Oh
it's a giant kaiju movie. Yeah.
Well,
it's a giant kaiju movie. Okay.
Yeah, it is.
I see what he's saying because there's some real. It was like they just did like a rough draft of a script and just threw all logic to the wind. Now my criticisms are as follows. I'm fine with the human group A. They always have your 2 human groups in these films, and humans are really not all that interesting to me. And in kaiju films, I like the little girl and the people with her. Yeah. I didn't even mind old Skarsgård, the guy from who played Tarzan, and the lady who was from I think in the last film, if I'm not mistaken, but who was her little mentor or whatever. The little girl. I have no problem with Group A of humans.
Yeah.
The Stranger Things global little Scooby, the little geek group.
Millie Bobby Brown.
I wish she would piss off. Like literally.
They were.
I hope after Stranger Things season 4 we don't have to deal with her no more. So
but the rest, all silliness, whatever. I didn't really like the way the baddie's boring, and I don't like the way Mecha Godzilla looks. Aside from that, I loved all the action. And it's true that the big G is kind of slided a little bit in terms of character, but he's never really been given much of a personality, especially in these past 4, quote unquote, the legendary pictures films. However, Kong is the best character in the film.
Kong is an amazing character in the film.
He's a great character. I mean, I liked him at Skull Island. I think he's even better in this. His characterization alone and rapport with the little girl, and combined with some just insanely great action scenes. And he thought the CG was bad. I'm blind, I guess, because I thought it looked great.
I thought, for the most part, the CGI was spot on. I saw it in a theater.
Really?
And so awesome to see in theater. And seeing that action in a theater was badass. And I'd say I probably like 85% loved it, and 50% some nitpicks on it. But that's good. I feel like that's a good ratio of what I loved on the CG. And I personally didn't mind the design of Mechagodzilla because I get what they were going for. They want to make him look capable, that he could take on Godzilla or Kong one-on-one. And it looks like Ash posted a photo of King Kong scratching his ass.
Because that's the thing I talked about a lot, was him scratching his ass.
Jed. For some reason, Jed was
funny.
It
was funny.
It was funny. Because he got up, he's like, yeah.
I don't even mind Kong getting a Stormbreaker.
That was great. That was awesome.
It's fun.
It's so goofy, and that's the beauty of it. Is it knew what it was. It was shameless about it, and it committed to it. And that is what I want out of entertainment. Don't be shameful. Just go all the way. Yes, we know everything about this is ridiculous. Just commit to it. Go 100%. Don't hold back. And this movie didn't do that. And for that, I enjoyed it that much more.
Well, that's the thing. I'm sorry, Mike.
No, go ahead, buddy.
That's the thing I love about, and I will appreciate with even some of the older movies. If they know the movie is just bloody, they know it's a silly movie, they will 100% commit to it. Like, that's one of the reasons why I love Howard the Duck. They know it was they knew it was going to be a silly movie, and they're like, just make it as wild and funny as you could. Oh my God, Chauncey, and like, oh, Duck, just all that with Howard. And then another movie I got a reference on that one is Girlfriend from Hell. I don't know if anybody's ever seen that, but they started out, hey, let's make a science fiction comedy and make it crazy as hell. They went crazy as hell, and they knew it was going to be a crazy movie. Okay? And so they knew they had Kong and Godzilla. Let's hype it up. Let's go full blast. Let's give Kong an upgrade. Let's give Mechagodzilla an upgrade. Let's show them, and then let Godzilla and Kong do the bro fist at the end and like totally destroy Mechagodzilla. You know what I'm saying? I loved it. And here's my thing, and Nick, I think we said about this the other day or the stream before or so. I think they had Andy Serkis helping on the Kong. I think the facial animations. Yeah, I think they had Andy Serkis helping, because if you want facial animations that good, and the CG, his hair, it looked good. It looked how Kong should be, especially when he went into the snow, because he fell down in the snow, and the snow was all. That's how you would look like, I think they either had Andy Serkis or Serkis, whatever. How
Circus.
How you
Circus.
Yeah, or they had somebody that knew him to get the facial animations and stuff, because he was extremely expressive in this movie. I can say he was, but this movie he was super expressive. It was like, and that's one of the things I loved about it. It was awesome. It just, because I'm a huge big King Kong fan. I love Kong. Like, Kong's my favorite. I love Godzilla too, but Kong is just, and they, because, and there was another Easter egg at the end of the movie, and I said this Saturday when Purple was on. They did at the end where Godzilla was driven off, and then Kong was. They did the exact same scene at the end. They changed it, tweaked it just a little bit, but they did an homage to the original Kong versus Godzilla, where Godzilla goes into the thing and there's Kong right there, and I was like, "That's cool," because there was you could see that there were Easter eggs and homages to the past movies in there throughout this movie. If you were spying them, when Millie Bobby Brown wasn't stinking up the movie with her stupid stuff.
Steve Mitchell.
So,
to me, it's not so much her. I know a lot of people like to beat up on her. It's really, I mean, she's not good or anything, and neither is the silly, how many times are we going to have a conspiracy kook guy in one of these? It's like a Michael Bay trope someone mentioned.
It totally is. It's very interesting because in real life they love to demonize conspiracy theorists, but in these franchise properties they love to praise them as the hero of the day. Really ironic.
And again, it's just that those characters were there to do nothing. They're just distract from the movie because you got to have that. I got to have people.
Yeah, they needed some. They needed some legs to it. Yeah,
I know we're suspending disbelief anyway. How in the hell did her father get to Hong Kong in 2 seconds? Does he have a transporter?
What I'm wondering is they took that transport that was underneath the ground.
Not him though.
So
the dude was in Florida or something like that, wasn't he? And then all of a sudden he was in Hong Kong.
Well, he did work for Monarch too. So
yes, they have transporters then. Okay, good.
Yeah, so he did work for Monarch. Monarch had transporters. So
Steve Mitchum, bro, good to see you, man. Monarch has transporters, good. But I don't mind them ripping off Pellucid with the Edgar Rice Burroughs with the middle of the earth type stuff, like again, and yes, it's true. Now again, one of Flash's complaints, and I don't necessarily, I get this, but I don't agree with it because we've seen this in other Godzilla movies. They have crazy, outrageous technology, like those ships that can fly through the earth and all that stuff that they were flying. Yes, and it doesn't make a lot of sense in most films, but they do that in a lot of Godzilla movies. They have ridiculous technology. You got Jet Jaguar. You got all this. In the original iterations of Mechagodzilla, aliens made him, but later they retconned where in the 90s, whatever, where people made Mechagodzilla, where humans made him.
Well, here's my thing. I think they set up the Hollow Earth for the next movie because you can tell they ended it on that, and then the next one, if that does well, they're gonna do space. So.
I just had a good time. I mean, it was fun.
Yeah, I did. It was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it was just he was bored. I was not bored. I was kind of like it was fun. Just the big. They didn't make me wait too long between the big fights, but the times I did have to wait, other than those Group B of humans, I was fine because we got a lot of other stuff too, going through the earth, all that silly stuff with him getting Stormbreaker. I don't mind it. It's goofy, but he's got to go against a guy with atomic fire. He needs something.
Yeah, so when Kong got up that last time and he's like, I loved it when Kong would pound his chest. He's like, "Let's go, boys." He got up. He's like, "Oh," he's like, and I was like, "Let's go." I got yelled at to shut up because when I was watching, I was like, "Let's go, Kong."
Eric said that I told him, but did I tell you that Millie Brown carried the movie, and if Stan Lee did this, would have been Stan Lee did create Godzilla. I'm sure I remember when I created Godzilla and did a Marvel comic of him in the 70s. And he met remember when Godzilla, in all seriousness, there was a Godzilla comic.
There was.
And by Marvel.
Yeah,
in which he was in. Now, it has nothing to do with Stan Lee, of course. But yes, does anyone know that, by the way? Godzilla was in the Marvel Universe?
Yeah, he was.
And
do you know
the Fantastic Four and S.H.I.E.L.D.?
To be honest, at this rate, who hasn't made an appearance in the Marvel Universe?
Oh, and let's be honest, Ash from Evil Dead was even in the Marvel Universe.
Oh yeah, but I'm talking about this was. I like that comic. I like Herb Trimpe, doing that.
At this rate, you'll see Frosty the Tiger from the cereal just appear in the Marvel Universe.
Are you saying
you mean Tony the Tiger?
I think it's Tony. They're from the Frosty
You
cereal.
said Frosty. What is
Well, I
wrong
mean,
with
Frosty
you?
Flakes,
It's from the Frosty cereal. I got confused.
No,
I couldn't
it's
remember the name.
Tony the Tiger.
All right, calm
They're
down, Jesus.
great.
Yeah, I thought he was just called Frosty over there. Maybe.
Frosty, get out of here with that.
Oh, shut up.
You tell him, Ash. Come on, Jed. Be nice. We're all polite here. Damn it!
Get out of here with that, Frosty.
You
It's
screwhead. You
Tony.
primitive screwhead.
We're just gonna see a world in Marvel where it's all the mascots from the different cereal brands.
Well, they'll
dear.
probably buy Kellogg's too next. Knowing now.
Retro. Did you like it? Did you see it yet?
Yeah, I did. I really enjoyed it. It's probably one of the best things I've seen in a while. It did what it said on the tin. It was a good old monster movie, and they were kicking crap out of each other, and it was good fun. It was ace. Take your brain out, put it in a jar, and just sit down and enjoy it. Don't think too much. Don't think too much into it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Me too. And I'm going around the horn here. Ash, your final thoughts on Geek?
I absolutely loved it. Like I love the whole big kaiju films, and things like Pacific Rim and stuff like that, and just huge city-sized monsters. And this film was great. All like the cool Hollow Earth stuff was great. The tech stuff of trying to combat the gravitational reversing on the ship, otherwise they'll die, and all that stuff was cool. The little girl and all that little conspiracy stuff, that was just, it was okay. It seemed a bit too familiar of current day of conspiracies and stuff, but it just got boring. Like the more of those scenes with that little band of characters, it just got boring. But when they eventually met up with Mechagodzilla, then things started to pick up, and then Mechagodzilla, that was just badass. And yeah, I just love the film.
Yeah, I had a good time. I also did too. Nick, your final thoughts on G versus GBK?
I, once again, seen a theater, and maybe it was a theater that enhanced the overall experience. I'm not going to deny that. I loved it. Once again, I'm going to echo a few of the same comments, but I loved the action. I loved the CG, and I didn't really need to care for the humans, and that's fine. I mean, if there's any one human being that they're maybe trying to make you care for, it's probably the little girl with Kong.
Yeah.
That actually felt like one of the very rare human characters that actually mattered in this movie, and that's very tough to do, because usually I'm like, good. I don't care about these characters. Scram, get on, move on somewhere. But this character, I'm like, I can actually get down with this. And
I was like, don't hurt the little girl. I'll get you guys.
Oh, yeah.
I like that.
And there were some complaints, and I don't understand that. Because, like, Kong looks small in certain parts. I'm like, it's not that he looks smaller. Maybe he looks it, but he's not shrunken. It's just the worlds he's entering in are just that much bigger that it makes him look smaller. But I guess people can't seem to decipher that. But I loved it. I love seeing Mechagodzilla. I love the whole wrestling style collaboration in the end, the 2-on-1 handicap match style. I'm like, so
from the top rope.
Oh, I know. It was like that. It reminded me of like the main event, like interference last minute, the referee's down type of thing. It was perfect. And
he brings in the equalizer. Oh my god!
Oh, he's coming in with the steel chair. He's got the Stormbreaker. That was the steel chair equivalent, the Stormbreaker. So
I was waiting for JR to come out just one point when Godzilla did when King Kong did that he did look like he did a stunner. I was waiting for JR to come out and go, Stone Cold.
Yeah, dude, I had a great time. Simply put, I had a great time, and I can't wait to watch it again.
I'm right there with you, man. I really enjoyed it. Keely Chow, Roll Tide, thank you for popping in. And Jed, you enjoyed it, of course.
Oh yeah, hell yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah.
Like I said, when I was watching it, the night that I was watching it, I got like when Kong got up, when Kong would get up, he's like, okay, I got knocked down. Let's go in there and kick more ass. He's like, whoa, and pounds his chest and goes in there, just let's go, boys. And I was like, let's go, Kong. And I was like, I got told to shut up. So I was
there
like,
you go. Well, my next question to the panel is: who among us has seen Invincible?
I have.
Yes.
I like it.
Very good.
I have a few
I-
complaints on the third episode, but overall, I love it.
And you've seen it, Ash? Anyone else? Retro or Jed? No.
No.
Yes or
Oh,
no?
I got
okay.
the books.
Well, we won't
and
spoiler it.
I got the books, but I just don't have
that's-
Amazon Prime.
Well, I got no
you know.
problem. We're not gonna. We won't really because it's not even over yet. There's only 4 episodes.
Yeah.
Just
I don't care.
Just briefly touch on it.
The third, I agree with
You can go ahead and talk about it.
Yeah.
I
Ash-
agree with Nick. The third episode was a bit questionable. There was a lot of woke stuff in it, but I thought it was to some extent well done given the setting and what was going on.
I want to ask you a question about that, Ash. What was because I have a pretty good woke meter, and so far, because we're going to talk about the show in general, but a little bit without being spoilery. But was there anything? What was you think stood out as the wokeness? Because I didn't see a whole lot so far.
Well, in the third episode, there was the one thing about I'm terrible with names. The main female one
I can
in
tell
pink.
you.
In pink.
Oh,
Pink
yeah.
girl.
What happened
Adam
was
yeah.
they're mentioning authors and they mentioned Ta-Nehisi Coates.
Right.
And luckily they didn't go on about it, but it was kind of one of those things like where they acknowledge and then they acknowledge fourth wave feminism. And then another
Right.
comment was everyone loves comics, which is objectively false. They're trying to push that comics are for everyone thing.
Yeah.
But
Right.
after they didn't dwell on it, but other than that, it was still a good episode.
Here's the thing about that, though.
There was also that thing with about the symbol on Adam Eve's chest, and is something like, oh, it's I can't remember what they were saying, something non-binary or something like that, or gender fluid or something. They said that in the show. I'm just like,
I didn't even
okay.
notice it. I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, it was just a quick comment that went a bit under the radar about the symbol on a costume.
Here's the thing about all that, though, because that's I appreciate you pointing out because I've heard someone say that about that. I did not notice, but I love Adam Eve. Okay, the Ta-Nehisi Coates. I wish his filthy foul name had not been put in this show. Don't get me wrong, but I'm getting the impression because of the scene with Doc Seismic. I forget whether it was episode 2 or 3, where he's spewing a bunch of SJW bullshit. Where it's like sounds like they're almost taking a shot at SJWs with that.
Yeah, I thought that too.
And this girl's kind of he's portraying her as kind of the typical snotty, know-it-all, little nothing high school girl who is into all this SJW nonsense. I don't know for sure, but Kirkman's got his faults, but I'm not so sure they're not actually as you my good friends across the pond say, in some ways maybe taking the piss a little bit, as they say. I'm not so sure. Again, I don't. Yeah, but maybe not.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
With that comment about the symbol on a costume, I think it did. Even though they did mention it, it did sound like he was taking the piss out of her a little bit, just a tiny bit. But because it was very off the cuff, under the radar comment, it wasn't really a huge thing. And like if they do stuff like that, I don't have an issue if it's like a small little comment here and there. But if they make a huge plot point about modern woke stuff, then I've got an issue with it.
Yes, and again, there's the thing. One thing about it, and as you know, SJWs have no sense of nuance. None. I mean, they're not capable of any mental agility whatsoever. So he could be just putting crap in there and leaving it nebulous, thinking, you know what? Some people who don't like wokeness might bristle at this, and some people who are woke might think it's wonderful. And then what are you going to do? I'm going to stick it in there anyway. I don't know, but it seemed like it was tongue in cheek, like Purple says. I think maybe it could be that. And as a fan of the old comic, so far again, I thought the 4th episode was good, but not as good as the first 3. I've really, really been loving it.
Oh,
so
yeah.
far.
It's been a great show. It really has been. I've enjoyed it. I love how colorful and lively the animation style is, and the voice talent, the voice acting is amazing. I love how it really knows how it is very well tonally balanced. The heroes are still heroes, even though there's these super brutal moments. It still looks at times like an old school, super fun superhero book, but when the brutal moments happen, they're that much more brutal.
That's because Invincible has people even people who are fans of some stuff sometimes don't look beneath the surface of some things. Invincible is not Watchmen or The Boys or The Authority or any of these comics that are deconstructionists. Some of them which are good, some I like better than others. I'm not arguing against. I love Watchmen. Deconstructionist superhero stories have their place. They probably made the world not as good a place, to be quite honest. But it's not that stuff. It actually is not deconstructionist of the superhero myth. It takes, and I would not approve of Invincible if this same thing of storytelling, same kind of storytelling and narrative, were taking place in a normal Marvel or DC universe. The Invincible universe looks and feels exactly like Silver Bronze Age Marvel DC, with the addition of extreme brutal violence and ultra violence. Because I bristle sometimes at the word realism being implied to superheroes that much.
Make that two of us.
I think it's kind of fallacious, but you could introduce certain elements in it. Watchmen totally does that, and it works as a narrative. I wouldn't want that for every story. Invincible leaves it has all the same archetypes and tropes that have been established over 80 some odd years of superhero comics. It has the silly, goofy, fun aspect even. It has people with ridiculous powers in ridiculous costumes and all this stuff. And yet it adds one quote-unquote realistic dynamic, and it is simply the ultra violence. So in other words, if someone gets knocked through a building, they're going to bleed. If a person with Superman type powers would rip a normal person to shreds and they would burst and blood would be everywhere. Somebody's got some kind of feedback going on.
They did the dark right.
Someone getting punched. So there's a darkness element to that for sure. Yet it's still maintained. And again, this is an interesting mix. You don't want little kids to see this, and you don't want to show this to people who are squeamish, because especially that scene with the Global Guardians, it's one thing to see it kind of hinted at on a comic book page. To see this animated, holy shit! And so it's got the brutal aspect of the violence mixed in with a very superhero genre type of thing. And again, it's not The Boys. It doesn't have the cynicism of Watchmen, The Boys, The Authority, the Innes, the Garth Inneses of the world, the Mark Millars of the world, the Alan Moore and Frank Miller, which I love a lot of that work. It's not that. It's not that at all. And people confuse it with that all the time. It's not that.
They do. And even, I'm glad you mentioned that whole thing with the Watchmen, because even Dave Gibbons agrees that once the Watchmen book came out, a lot of the stuff with the source material changed on. Everything was so deconstruction emphasized for the worst. And even Dave Gibbons agreed on that. Yeah, apparently I don't know if he ever saw it through, but I do know after Watchmen, he wanted to start seeking out lighter tonality based stuff because he wanted to move away from it.
No, actually, Alan Moore did. And Alan Moore did an apology book in the early 90s that no one knows about. It's one of the best kept secrets of comics. It's called 1963. Are you familiar with it?
I'm not. I've got to check that out.
It's one of my favorite things ever. He didn't finish it. There was he went to Image around 1993. He went to Image, and he was saying in the press at that time, Watchmen, and he didn't hate Watchmen at the time like he does now. He just said it, and along with Miller's Dark Knight Returns, and of course before that, Miller's Daredevil, which really started all this, brought in the quote-unquote, the grim and gritty age that he thinks superheroes should not have gone completely down that rabbit hole.
Yep.
And so he created a comic, and the Image guys, there was creator-owned with Image, as you know. They let him create a book called 1963, and it was 4 issues. Welcome to the great Mark D with the C. I'll just finish this point and I'll get to you, brother. It was called 1963. It was it's the first retro comic you're ever going to see. It was a throwback to comics of 1963. It had 6 issues, all of them dealing with a very Kirby looking and Ditko looking Marvel universe with archetypes and knockoffs of those characters. Very light in tone. It was wonderful. And it was so good. Even the letters pages and the ads were mock-ups of hilarious old comic books. And it was all to culminate into the Image universe with all the Image creators at the time, Jim Lee and Rob Liefeld and Mark Silvestri and Jim Valentino in the 1963 annual, the last issue, number 6 of the issue. And you can't get a trade of this ever because there's only the staple backs of it. It continued, and it was going to be continued in 1963 annual. and it's never going to come out ever, and I'm very upset about it. But Alan Moore was apologizing for a Watchmen. With that and many other comics, he thought comics should not have gone down that rabbit hole.
Agreed.
And
anyway, he felt that way too. Good to know.
Yeah, and
but you're gonna have a bit of the little alter violence by going to the milk bar too, huh?
Let's yes.
Can I mention some of the Invincible? What I liked about Adam Eve, she stood by her suit that she made, because I thought they were gonna knock on it and then go all the way with knocking on it, but she's like, I made it, like, and she was all proud of it. It was a little thing, but I thought it was a really cool thing, because that's a type of outfit that many in this day and age would consider problematic. But the fact that she stood by it, I thought was cool.
I love it, and I didn't notice that change to the insignia until someone mentioned it. But let's say hello to our good friend, his debut on Clobberin Time, a great friend of the show, our good buddy, the great Mark D with a C. What's up, brother?
Hey, thanks for having me. It's a real pleasure.
Thanks for joining us, man.
It's really awesome to be on with you guys. And one thing I was, been enjoying these streams for a few months. One thing, I guess the algorithm worked pretty good. I kept seeing this guy with the thing icon everywhere, liking the same stuff. And I grew up the same way, loving Ben Grimm. So then I finally found you guys on YouTube, which has been fantastic. Because my local comic book store shut down a few years ago, unfortunately. And part of the fun, other than buying comics, was hanging out with like-minded people and talking. And all right, Nick's got a great thing there, and having just all these great conversations.
There you go.
Just want to join in on the fun, and it's great seeing everyone. And so far, no one has come to my house to take the sign.
Dude, I'm already plotting. I am plotting to steal that from you, man. I'm sorry. I'm not just on it, man.
Did you see the new? Is that the new one that was coming out, Nick?
Oh yeah.
It's one of the newer ones, and honestly, I wasn't going to get it, but the only reason I got it was because when I actually saw how it looked in person with the detail, I'm like, okay, because the suit is not my go-to. I'm a baby blue type of guy.
Yeah, I don't like the blacks. That's the same one as the one that came out before. That was the CVS exclusive.
Yeah, but once I saw it in person, I saw the detail in person. Like I said, it looks a lot cool in person. When I saw the detail of the rocks in person, and it's actually like a bigger, like more gigantic base figure, I'm like, you know what? They actually got the appearance right, especially since I sat him next to the other Fantastic Four members. He actually, he looks like the Thing. He looks towering and more imposing. So I'm like, okay, I'll complete the collection, because I almost did it just because of that, because of the black.
I heard they were going to come out with a new one too, because I saw a picture of it recently.
Oh, are they?
I'll have it.
Yeah, they're going to come out with a new.
They're
going to come out with a new Thing figure. I don't know. It was just a picture I saw.
Take my money.
I will have to. Yeah, I will have to. Again, I got the CVS one. I didn't get that when you got there, Nick, because the CVS one's the same with just a different paint on there. But I hear you. I don't like the black costumes much either at all. But I did. I have plenty of Hulk and Thing toys, but I wanted a Hulk toy for that one to fight.
Yeah.
So I was at a con a year or so ago, and I got that. I found that set with from Hulk one. Was it 180? Or the cover of Hulk 180, whatever it was. First Wolverine. They did a Wolverine Hulk box set. There you go. And they did a toy box set of that, of a big Hulk and that Wolverine with that costume. And I bought it, and because I don't give two shits about Wolverine, I gave that to a buddy of mine at the con. So you can have Wolverine. I just wanted Hulk. So I can have him fight the Thing. I'm sorry, everyone. Not a Wolverine. I like Wolverine, but I wanted that one. But I knew he wanted that figure.
Mark, you got it framed, dude.
Yeah.
Well, this is actually Herb Trimpe signed, so it's just the cover. It's not.
Oh my God,
the cover.
But it was one of those Diamond Select deals a few, maybe 10 years ago, and I'm like, oh, yeah. Gotta have that. Nice. I have a funny story about these comics too. We had years ago, was a kid in the neighborhood who was just selling his comic book collection, and so we had 4 friends, and we just were going in order around the, you get this one, this one, this one. So I ended up with I think it was Hulk 180, and my friend got 181, and we bought this box for like $20 back then. And then years later, I'm like, what happened? I think you have Hulk 181. That's the first Wolverine. And he's like, my mom threw away. It's a typical story. I threw away all my comics.
Oh my God!
Oh man, no, Lord Thought, I have not seen that, and I better not.
I'm gonna
see
dig
it.
for it. I'll dig. I'll do the digging.
Okay. I mean, I have the FF statues. I even have the small thing bust, and I have the Jack Kirby bust. But I have to stop. Statues are just too expensive for me. So if I see that statue, I'm gonna get sad.
Hey, Chris just said, "Oh my God, Mark actually speaks isn't mere type words in chat." Here's a little bit of trivia. Mark's first appearance was on our show a few weeks ago.
Hey.
Yep. Thank you.
Yeah.
That was fun.
So, 2 weeks ago. So.
I can say my first stream followed RMB, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So yeah,
We
he's like,
you, man.
yeah.
You got a cool background there. That's why I just do an avatar, not just because I'm as ugly as sin. I don't have any cool background in my room. The way it's set up with my computer is nothing but crap. I don't, otherwise I wouldn't give a shit about my ugly mug. I'd just be having the background going all over the place,
Oh,
I'm
just ugly mug. That's the reason why I have an avatar.
That's a good reason.
This is actually an office. This is not my parents' basement. I did move out of the basement years ago. All this stuff, yeah.
I hear you, man. Well, we appreciate you, man. I'm glad you joined us. Did you see Invincible or not?
Yep. Yeah. I thought it was really good. Years ago, I picked up, I think, a few on Free Comic Book Day and read some of it and never added it to my pull list. But when I was reading, I was like, oh, yeah, this is really good. It pulled you right into the stories, one I should have read. So now Loki put the link up for the free Prime, so I got to go back and read it. But I've been pretty impressed so far because, like you said, they're not wrecking, the superheroes we grew up and loved. It's not like Superman all of a sudden turns into this horrible, character. So that's what I really enjoy.
Oh, you mean like story. Falcon and the Winter Soldier, where they're totally disregarding canon again?
Yeah, so. But before you get to that, I was going to say, yeah, I read Invincible for maybe like the first 7 or some issues before I dropped it. And you're all familiar with the excellent YouTuber Script Doctor, who's a really cool.
Yeah,
he's a cool dude. He's just recently. He got a hold of all of them. He read all 140 whatever issues it is. Woo! Recently, and of course, he was really up to speed on it. It's been a long time since I've read Invincible,
bro.
So with my old man's memory, Nick, it kind of made it new, so I can watch those episodes and not really be 100% sure of what they're changing, what they're screwing with here and there, and I think that's kind of for the best. It comes on tonight, and I can't wait.
I can't wait either. I mean, I'm ordering some pizza and having it ordered for around the time that episode drops.
What time does it drop? You know?
Usually around 8 o'clock. They usually drop around 8 o'clock. You and I are on Central, right, Clobby? We're on Central, you and I? Yeah. They get them as early as 8. So I'm going to have my pizza at 8, and we're going to watch some Invincible before I do X-Files. So I can't wait. I'm excited.
Nice.
Oh, so it comes on the same bloody night as Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
No, that's 2
a.m. 2 a.m.
That's 2 a.m. Friday morning.
Well, it's still night. It's same night though. Yeah.
No,
hey, Clobby.
Friday morning. Go ahead, buddy.
Are you sure you don't want to see this thing figure?
Go ahead and torture me, brother.
Dude, Thoth was not screwing around. I just want to say this thing is, well, in my opinion, it's a bit of a beauty. So I'm going to share the screen.
Damn you, Thoth. Damn you.
Dude, look at that. Oh, my God. Seriously, this figure. Oh, my God. Oh, dude. Oh, I got the newspaper, too, right there. Killer versus Torgo. Oh, my God. Dude.
Oh, my goodness. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh,
I just got to hide that box when it shows up for my wife. It always finds out when the shipment comes in.
Hey, you're gonna be like retro, and you gotta hide things now in his room.
Is that why they're all in boxes, retro and cardboard boxes?
Oh, God, no.
You should hear her in the background. Did you get someone else new? I want some money in the background. Come on. You don't take care of me enough. No. We're just joking. Richard, I don't want anybody to take it seriously. We rib each other about that all the time. So
Retro, you got anything for us today, man? We'll do a little show and tell. What you got? No pressure if you don't.
Yeah, I have actually, dude. It's just
okay. You want to see some?
Wait,
some show and tell with Retro.
Yeah,
did you actually find stuff after you had to move everything back in?
Yeah, I did. I haven't got too many figures left, to be honest. It's sort of the last load, but here we go. Here's a few. Only a few pieces today, I'm afraid. So there you go.
Oh yes, I'm one of those weirdos that really likes the Sixth Doctor. I know I like that stupid outfit.
There you go.
I mean, it should have look with Twin Dilemma. He was insane, so that was fine. They should have probably toned it down after that. Colin Baker hated the outfit, but I love that. Dude, that's amazing.
There you go.
So I love like the master referred to it in the time, and he says when he was telling these guys to look out for the Doctor, he goes, "You can't miss him. He's mean looking," and he wears a gold-colored coat.
And here we go.
The Two Doctors is one of my favorite episodes too, with him in it.
I like the Two Doctors, goofy though it was.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic, dude. That Tom Baker figure. Good God.
That's good. Yeah, the best Doctor.
The greatest of all.
There you go. And here we go. Here's another piece. Just
Best Doctor. You talking about Jodie Whittaker?
I'll make us boot kick you out of here, Ash.
That's a 10-minute penalty in the penalty box for Ash.
That's 15 minutes right there, partner, in the box.
The robot, also known as the giant robot. I remember that episode, Planet of the Dead, where the 10th Doctor, David Tennant, is talking to Bernard when he meets him on the phone, and he says, "I've studied all your adventures, and I love it." He goes, "Really? What's your favorite? The giant robot?" I mean, never mind.
I love it when you watch the episode and the robot almost falls apart when they're fighting with it. They're like,
he looks like Tonto toys.
This one was built from all the individual pieces. Yeah, this was built from all the individual pieces.
Oh, it's a build-a-figure.
If you look in these, there's the actual pieces.
A build-a-figure, right?
Yeah, so
it's a good excuse to buy two.
Yeah, exactly. So,
I love that, man. That really looks good, though. I love that episode. Tom Baker, that episode may be a little goofy, but Tom Baker's performance in his first, because he was always brilliant. That is, I can watch the first couple episodes of that when he's just getting used to being the Doctor over and over and over again. It's just a delight.
Yeah, my favorite Doctor.
He says, I should say the nose is a definite improvement. That's what he is.
Brilliant. I'm afraid that's all it is, and the rest of it is down to is my Target novels. So
that's okay. We do love seeing that. How can we see that? That machine was it? Is that a Pac-Man mini Pac-Man machine? Show us that. That's cool.
Pac-Man.
That is great, man.
That's awesome.
Pac-Man.
You're either as big as King Kong or that's a miniature.
Well, considering how much he's had to move in and out of there recently.
Don't even go there. Don't even go there.
Mine's not as nice. It's just a clock.
Oh, yeah.
That's cool, though.
In Legopolis was the massive
Pac-Man. Oh, dude.
Ace.
Galaxia or Batman?
Oh, brilliant.
That's like it was. Remember Metropolis? And I mean Legopolis, where the Master's reducing the size of the TARDIS.
Yeah.
To a little bitty one.
Yeah.
The last Doctor cut you down the size. Oh,
hey guys, what are you gonna do? Hey guys, I'm in here.
Oh yeah.
Hang on 1 second, buddy. Hang on 1 second. We're putting you on the big one there.
Oh, great.
With the flamethrower included too, because in the one episode Hank Scorpio was in, he had a flamethrower. He went on the Simpsons moved to what was that town called? They left Springfield for a bit. And Homer got a new job, and his boss was Hank Scorpio. And Hank Scorpio was a super fun, outgoing guy. And he saw that Hank was a guy who also lives a very action-packed life, and he was taking out bad guys near the end of the episode. He used a flamethrower. And the fact that they had this flamethrower, that this thing, it costs. I spent eBay money for it. I spent around $50, but I'll tell you what, it is bloody worth it. And if I were to ever get a second one, because I'm not opening this one, if I get a second one. Because I could stand the actual figure itself on like those like little Simpsons play sets, and it'll speak. This figure would speak. So I might have to get a second because I want to hear him say the quotes. I want to hear him say, "Yeah." So I was like,
but Nick, that one's expensive to get though. Too.
Oh yeah. Worth it though. Like I said, like it was my way of celebrating the movie. I'm like, all right, I'm going to get some stupid and expensive and not care. And I did. And I have no apologies for it. So, and again, I'll show off the thing once again. Like, I'm not with the blackness, but look at the detail on the rocks. Just like,
that's nice, yeah.
Yeah, it's like okay,
cool.
and yeah, even right up here, his eyebrow. You get to see the eyebrows. Like, dude, that's
Good
freaking
paint job too.
yeah. No, the figure is a lot cooler in person. Like when I originally saw it, like online, I'm like, eh. But once I actually saw it in person, I'm like, bro, frick yeah. So yeah, look at all the rock detail on the back. So no, it's
cool.
a badass figure.
Never make excuses for buying toys.
No,
That's a good. That is a good thing. Like I said, I hated they made that, not that one, but the one before where there was the same one with a different that set of the FF CHS exclusives that was really annoying. No, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Walgreens exclusives. Excuse me.
Yes.
I get those two confused. Walgreens exclusives is really a dumbass idea.
Agreed.
In my opinion, of course,
It is.
Maybe not, because we thought we weren't going to be able to find that thing theory. Actually, the other ones before that came out, Torch, which I'm not too thrilled how they did the Torch, Invisible Woman, which they did pretty well, and Mr. Fantastic. Eventually, because they're at Walgreens, they didn't sell that great, and it got them cheap. But there's no way everyone was panicking when the thing came out, because they're going, everyone's going to start hitting Walgreens and grabbing that sucker. But we managed to grab it. To get it.
I got one, so I got one of those.
Someone's got one? All right.
Yeah, I got. Well, I don't. I have it's in a box. And
it means that Walgreens one, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got quite. And of course, I still have all my old Toy Biz Fantastic Four figures from the '90s.
Yeah, me too.
Including 2 Fantastic Cars.
Ooh. Wow.
And, have you ever seen the Fantastic Car?
Yeah,
I have one. Yep.
Well, I had the one that we bought back then, and a couple years ago, Minimus gave me one for my birthday. You found one that's still in a box. And unlike you toy torturers, Retro and Nick, I take my toys out of the box. You guys are evil toy torturers.
I'm a toy torturer too, so yeah.
I take them out of the box.
I take most of them out of the box. Most of them. There's a select few I keep in, but they're most of them. I'd say 85%. But yeah, it does get testy and torturous at times when I don't. It does.
I got you, brother.
Hey guys, let me out of the plastic. I can't breathe in here.
Hey,
come on, hey guys.
Have you learned nothing from Stinky Pete? Oh my goodness, my friends, we have a wonderful, beautiful.
Welcome, Valkyrie.
All right, you buds, straighten up.
All right, yeah, clean up your act.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I'm gonna have to behave now and tell more dirty jokes.
Oh, you had to do a Jody.
Purple. What you got there, Mark?
I said something to her. I said something to Purple last night that made her crack the hell up. Like,
Purple, how are you doing on your birthday, dear?
Ash, get off the channel. What are you doing? Get off.
What's wrong?
Get that image
Ash.
off. Disgrace.
You want to be put in a timeout today, don't you?
I'm
Look
sorry.
at Ash. Jesus, dude.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Hang
that
on.
is blasphemy on here. Okay.
I'm sorry. Let me change it. One sec.
Now,
Don't put Man of Steel on.
All right, everyone. Let me talk to Purple.
Oh, I've got one better.
How are you doing on your birthday, love? It's so wonderful to see you here.
Just jump in and say thank you guys for the lovely song earlier. That was really sweet.
I know your ears
like that.
I know your ears shattered.
No, that was really sweet of you. Thank you guys.
Oh, are you having a good birthday? I mean, just enjoying, celebrating. What's going on?
Pretty much, yeah. It's been quiet. Everywhere's still pretty much in lockdown. So yeah.
No, I got you.
Been hanging out with you guys.
Well, look, we love having you here. Of course, you have an open invite to the Global Geek Gang anytime, but we know you're always busy and stuff like that. And I didn't know if you all did on your show, Rise and Shine with the Valkyries, if you did anything this morning or because
not today. No, I've got a show tomorrow that I'll be doing. So I'm just making the thumbnail actually for it.
Oh, cool. What do we got going on tomorrow? What's
Oh God, Ash.
I know, right?
Dude,
like,
what are you doing?
Don't ruin Purple's birthday.
Dude, he goes from one shit
I'm
show
sorry,
to
what-
another.
What do you guys have against strong, powerful woman?
I'll
Okay.
give you.
She's
We got a
magnificent.
strong, powerful woman. She's right over
Ash-
there.
Ash, you have earned this.
Put that in there. Put that. You deserve that shit.
Yes.
You have earned it, buddy.
You deserve that shit.
Oh, he's got a banner as well.
Oh, man, it's still
Breaking news, everyone.
Just kidding. Man of Steel still sucks. More news at 11.
Man of Steel still sucks.
Yes.
Dolphin, give me 20, soldier. Man of Steel still sucks.
What is your major malfunction, numbnuts? Sorry, people. We didn't mean.
Dude, stutter.
Purple, I love you. I'm so glad you showed up again. I just have so much fun hanging out with you, especially with none of these guys around, by the way.
Sorry I've ruined your intro, Purple.
Okay, now I appreciate that. That I can handle because that's Henry Cavill. Okay, that's fine. Okay, that's fine.
It's as tolerable as we get.
We'll allow it.
Yeah, we'll allow that because it's Henry Cavill. We'll allow that one. Okay.
Hey, Purple. We were talking about Invincible earlier. Have you watched that?
Yeah, I just caught up on the fourth episode a couple of days ago.
Okay. So far, you like it, not like it? What's the deal?
I'm really enjoying it. I'm one of those people that haven't read the comics. I'm not a massive Kirkman fan, but yeah, really enjoying it so far. And surprised because I haven't read it. I didn't realize the kind of level of violence in it. So I was like, wow, okay.
Yes, I tried to put the warning out there after I saw it because I didn't know it was going to be that extreme, even though I knew the comic, because I just thought I didn't think they would do that. Yeah, I was shocked, and then actually, it's more violent than the comic in a sense because it's moving. You know, it's animated. It's not a static page with a lot of blood on it. So when you read the comic, you go, "Wow, that's something." But when you see it animated like that and dramatized like that, oh man! So yeah, you got to warn people. Can you imagine how many people, how many kids are watching this because they say, "Mommy, can I watch the superhero cartoon?" Sure, dear, whatever. It looks like a superhero cartoon.
And then the parent leaves them to go do other stuff, and then by the end of the first episode, the kid's just sitting there crying his eyes out.
Why do you do that to those superheroes?
Dude, that's Ash right there. He's like, why? Why'd they do that for?
Why'd they kill Batman?
I'm not that bad, okay? Shut up.
So yeah, I did not know. I didn't know if you'd seen it or not. So I'm kind of looking forward to the new one tonight, and we'll see. A couple of the things that got me because I had not read the. I don't know why they changed Science Dog to Seance Dog. I'm not sure about that. I don't get
because
that.
people hate science nowadays, and actual.
I don't know. He looks like Dr. Strange dog now. But
Strange dog.
I forget in episode 2 or 3, whatever it was, when I think maybe in 3, when he meets Alan the alien, I knew I was going, oh god, this is so faithful. I was so happy to see Alan, one of my favorite characters, one of the the guy with the big one eye they met on the moon.
Yes.
I love Alan.
You were telling me about him the other day. Yeah, but you were surprised at what he was done.
I was so shocked to see that. I'm like, wow. Of course, it's Kirkman. He's being faithful to himself. I read for many years when I read Invincible. My son and I would fight over who got to read the new issue first. And
that's a good problem to have, man.
Yeah, and whoever would get to read it first, when it was done, and it was always a quick read. It's very visual and not a lot, and it wasn't all that. He wasn't Chris Claremont verbose, if you know what I'm saying, with his prose. You'd bring it into the who would bring it to the other. One would bring it to the other, and hold it up and go, holy shit. And that's all we'd say. Like this issue, because Kirkman is a shock writer.
Yeah.
Walking Dead was the same thing at the time we were reading Walking Dead regularly. And I never I dumped out before there was even a TV show of Walking Dead, but I bought a bunch of them. Mm-hmm. And I liked at the time, I thought it was okay. Then I just realized, like some have said, it's just not going to ever go anywhere. It's just going to be everybody sucks and life is garbage. And now with zombies, it's even worse garbage. And but anyway, people like it.
It's going to be emo all the time.
It's just going to be all right. I could just stab myself with ice picks if I wanted to know this kind of stuff. But for a while, it was exciting, and I would each issue would be like, oh my god, he's a shock writer. He knew how to make you go like, oh my god, what did you just do with this last page?
Well,
which is good.
Well, I was gonna say at least the end of the series finally, so he didn't milk it. So I think that's
he's
and
still milking it, you know.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Now that there's colored versions of the book coming out, yeah, I'd say you could say he's milking it. I will give Kirkman credit on one part between The Walking Dead, Invincible, and there's a book he's currently writing titled Firepower, where it's a martial arts family story, literally a family involved in martial arts, and all three stories are different from each other. Like, of course, they have their shock moments, but they're all very different types of stories. One's a superhero, one's a zombie, and one's a martial arts family book. I would even say it's even, dare I say, all ages. So I will give Kirkman credit there. And Samney, if anyone who doesn't know Samney, he's kind of like a rougher edge version of Darwin Cook. He's definitely like a rougher version.
Yeah,
of him.
Samney is similar to him. Yes.
Yeah, I'd say that's the closest way. And it is a book I do enjoy reading, and once again, he loves his action. So, and Samney shines best when you let him basically take over the show. Samney loves having whole pages where it's just like where the action and the story is doing the talking, not the actual dialogue itself. So you got to pay attention for the little details. So he does let his artist shine. So I'll give him some credit where it's due.
Yeah, well, his Astounding Wolfman comic was kind of all right for a while, but that was kind of when I started tapping out of his stuff. But Invincible, and there are only going to be 8 of these. I wonder if there will be another season. I have a feeling that we'll really enjoy this, and then we'll be like, guess what? You can't have any more.
Yep. Or what happened will be the first season will be good, and then the second season will go full woke.
Yeah. Well, like we were saying before, I don't know if it's woke or taking fun at pretending like a wolf in sheep's clothing where the wokeness is concerned, where they're taking shots at very subtle shots at SJWs.
Oh yeah. I mean, The Boys season 2 did that. They would take shots at it early on in season 2, and then come the near end, like the second to last episode, is when they went full woke. After they're taking shots at it, then they did a bait and switch, and it worked.
Right.
So that could happen with this come season 2, because I think season 1 we're pretty much safe as far as that goes, but season 2 will subvert the expectations per se.
Purple, do you have any thoughts on what you think about our theory or my theory about the wokeness and Invincible? Is it pro or con? Is it being subtle and taking swipes? Is it being neutral and playing both sides of the middle? What do you think on that?
I think it's poking fun, but very, very minor poking fun at SJWs. I think it's kind of towing the line at the moment. I don't know. Is Kurtman woke himself?
I'd say moderately, but not like he's not as where he needs to tweet about it every other second, like your Whale Simones of the world.
Yeah.
Yeah,
in that case, I'd say it's probably going to continue along the same vein. Then they're going to take little tiny jabs and just see if people kind of pick up on them, or whether it just kind of goes over people's heads.
Well, that stuff with Doc Seismic was flat out parody of SJWs, because he's a nut and he was spewing nutty SJW crap right out of the playbook at Mount Rushmore, and it wasn't subtle. That part wasn't subtle, but a lot of people think, oh, this is woke. I mean, he's a nut, so he is espousing woke crap, but he's insane and he's a bad guy. So
and they're going to only let the bad guys do it. They're going to only let that's the thing in this situation. They're going to let the bad, kind of like Homelander did in season 2.
Not only that, Rexplode is the same jackass, un-PC self. I mean, he is hilarious. He is. I mean, I don't know if wokesters would really want a character like Rexplode. I mean, because also, yes, he's all those things, and yet they portrayed him with a slight human side. They showed a little bit of it too. Whereas he would just be a caricature. He's the character from the comic. There's some nuance to his character. So I don't know. We do live in 2021. Is he just like this girlfriend that Mark is dating at this moment? I know she's race swaps from the comic, but they're kind of, are they poking fun at her? She's a young, high school girl that's into all this kind of stuff. Well, that's pretty realistic. There are a lot of young high school girls into that kind of stuff. As far as I don't like him mentioning it, scum like Ta-Nehisi Coates, even for that, but I wasn't done to poke fun at her type of person, her type of character.
I was gonna say I don't mind if they have both points of view or just certain characters. Like you look at Resident Alien, which I thought was really good. You had the sheriff was kind of like the Archie Bunker type, anti-woke character. Yeah. And you had the mayor who was, full on woke, and you had the characters making fun of each other. So if you look at, the classic All in the Family, Norman Lear was a real classical liberal, with free speech, but he had Archie Bunker, as the, alleged, right winger, but there was a humanity to him. So he was a full blown character, and you had the two sides arguing with meathead. So I don't mind if a show does that. The problem is when you just get one side and they're just banging over the head with it, like the new Doctor Who.
Exactly. Norman Lear, I had my problems with him in some ways, but like he even said, Archie Bunker, look, everyone, because he was asked by a lot of the Hollywood leads, how can you write a character like Archie Bunker? He said, Archie Bunker was my father, and I loved my father. How could you love him? He was like Archie Bunker because I loved him, and life was more complicated than that. And that was when you could write nuanced characters where whatever side of the political spectrum you came from. Now we have the kind of logic of Agatha Christie's a murderer because she wrote murder mysteries. That's where it comes from. If you write a character that is a murderer, then you must be a murderer. That's the kind of mentality we're dealing with the modern day SJW. So if Kirkman puts those kind of characters in his story, it doesn't necessarily mean he's being woke. If he's just portraying them, because that is a realistic portrayal of that character of a young girl who's like that, because we all know a lot of young people are like that. We know some old people are like that.
Yeah, Ash.
Ash is woke. Look at his avatar.
Yeah, look at his.
Oh, what's the problem now? I'm just
you
promoting
got your girlfriend. Why don't you put Brie Larson up there now? You've gone through every single one of put Brie up there now.
Idea. Give me a sec.
Ash is a Mary Sue.
What does that say, Ash? I bypassed the what?
I bypassed the compressor.
Oh. Oh God. Oh,
she bypassed something, all right.
No,
like maybe part of her brain cells when she was in a movie.
Explore the multiverse. Welcome. Wow.
Like, has anyone seen The Irregulars on Netflix, which is super popular right now?
No, I haven't.
No, that's another example of a really woke show. They had one one scene where that Leopold is in it, who's the eighth child of Queen Victoria, and he's in a carriage, and the carriage almost runs over one of the characters. And, back then she gets out and she's yelling at the driver and the footman, and she's pushing him back. I'm yelling at the screen, and my wife is like, "What are you getting so mad about?" I said, "You've got the son of the richest woman in the world, and a street urchin is going to come up and yell at her, yell at him, and yell at everyone, and knock everyone down and get away with it. It's not gonna happen." So they just put in, maybe that's how the character felt back then, but unfortunately you would have just had to take it, or you wouldn't be able to fight back. But they put all these crazy elements and make her like this fierce warrior, where back in the day that unfortunately there's no way that's gonna happen. So it just pulls you out of the show too.
Well, yeah, it could pull you out of a show.
You saw they had the Loki trailer, right? Recently. Yeah. Did you see that they're gonna have the female Loki in there along with him?
All right, but are they gonna take that out? If I'm remembering my comics correctly, wasn't that a punishment by Odin that he?
Yeah, it was a punishment by Odin, but they're going through alternate timelines because the Loki that's there, he's not our Loki. He's version 1000 something of it. So this Loki is going to be the main Loki for the timeline now. Like, I went through the whole trailer and looked at all. He's like Loki 1000. So the Loki that's the female Loki is from an alternate timeline that the Loki at the end of Endgame created all these thousands of Lokis because he created an alternate universe from taking the cube. Basically one of the Infinity Stones.
So how does Stone Loki feel about this?
I don't know. I haven't heard about it yet.
He's not
happy, is he? He's not happy.
No. Well, the Lady Loki is going to be the main Loki. They're teasing you with Tom Hiddleston and making it seem like he's going to be the main character throughout the show, but it's actually the female Loki who's in more of the episodes.
Yeah. Did you see?
As you have said, Purple, it's a bait and switch.
It is.
Did you see they had President Loki in there too?
Oh
Yep. There's
Yeah.
also a older version of Loki.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Which I
Yeah,
think
because the
is,
trailer made it seem like it's going to be our
Richard E.
Loki in it
Grant.
most of the time.
Yeah. No,
Is
it's
Richard E. Grant, really? Wow.
Our Loki died at the end of and
That's true. Yep.
Infinity War.
It's
I guess.
Loki 1000 son because they even said he's an alternate, so they're gonna go throughout the whole universe and like get other Lokis and stuff. So, and they even said they're gonna do a season 2. So
yes, it's an interesting concept, but I think the MCU and Marvel might be getting themselves a little bit too tangled with these multiverses.
they're turning into
Yes.
DC. They're turning into DC.
But they're multiverses. That's true.
Mhm.
Yeah, what was Captain America doing all those years? How could he go back into the past and not do anything or change, stop Kennedy's assassination or,
right. I hate what they did to Captain America. In the end game, it is absolutely trash.
Oh, I know.
Just kill him if you're going to do that. That's better than just ruining him.
And I'm just saying,
or if he had gone back in time and Peggy Carter had, become an agent with him, or he'd, changed history or, started a new timeline. But Cap would never give up on our own timeline and not help for all those years. It was too selfish. I mean, I thought that was that whole scene in the, which movie was it? It was Infinity War, where he looks at her and he leaves and that's what Cap would have done. He wouldn't have changed the past. So
remember at the end of Age of Ultron when he said something about a normal life, and he said, no, the guy that went in the ice all those years ago wanted that.
I love that line.
The guy that came out, not so much.
Yeah,
wanted to be
love
Captain
that line.
America.
I love that line. Say what you will about Age of Ultron, but Cap did have some great dialogue in those movies. Yeah, I enjoy it too. I mean, I'm not going to disagree about any of the Joss Whedon stuff, but Captain America had some great moments in those movies. He really did.
Oh God! Well, look, yeah, I mean, Chris Evans is a twerp in real life.
Yeah,
he is when he was originally cast, as bad as those stupid Fantastic Four movies are. I thought he was great as Johnny Storm. So I'm like,
agreed.
That guy is Cap. Yeah. Come on.
Oh, I know. Yeah. He was a great Captain America, and I'm okay with this character not being replaced. I mean, he's just one of those guys. I get why people want more Captain America, but he really left the gold standard on that role.
I still say Bucky needs to be Captain America. So
and that won't happen. I don't think either one of them.
Yeah, that show. Anyone watch it? Purple? Are you watching?
I'm not happy with it. So
Purple, are you watching that show?
Falcon? No, I dipped out after the first episode.
I'm trying to get by just so I can say I have, but it's getting tougher. It's getting tougher.
Well, we saw. What was I say? We saw Madripoor. I'm like, show me the Gray Hulk or something to do with Wolverine or some kind of hint or something. But it's just the standard action, buddy cop drama. There's nothing.
And I like those two guys.
Yeah,
I really like those actors. Yeah, I love them. I love the Falcon. I'm a big fan of the Falcon. Let me tell you something. That third episode, I thought was better than the first two. I kind of like some of the stuff they did with Zemo, but I don't like what they did to Sharon Carter. It doesn't matter, even if that episode had some entertaining moments. It's still not a good show, and it's only 3 more to go. It's like, when it feels like a chore, you've got a problem. And when you're watching it and it feels like a chore, and it does, then you're not watching a good show. You're watching a show and I'm gonna watch the rest of it, but I don't even really review it here. I talk about it a little bit here and there, but I don't do it like that. I was dumb enough to do, and a lot of us were devoted a lot of time to talking about WandaVision. We all got burned on that.
Right?
Well, I think WandaVision made us pay for that.
They
speculating.
Did. They all got burned on that, and now we're like, you know what? You got your little Falcon Winter show at the show. Some watch it, some don't. No one really cares that much.
Yeah, I after WandaVision, you guys know I did 2 streams on it. After that, I was like, nope, I'm done. After what they did, I was like, nope.
I'm not going to vote for Pat Steven with all the breakdowns. He spent hours and hours.
Oh yeah, I feel so sorry for Steven because of that.
Well,
he had some great streams though. Yeah, he did.
It was fun. It was fun. We worked, and there was a lot of excitement built up, and look what they did to us. So no one wants to fall into that trap again.
they crap the bed like Amber Heard, you know. So
it's just
and there's so many more shows coming. You know, we've only just got to the second series that's been released, which is Falcon and Winter Soldier. Then we've got Loki, What If, Miss Marvel, Hawkeye, and it just keeps going and going. You know,
Miss Marvel is not going to be. I'm skipping that one.
I'm skipping it.
I am not even watching that.
We'll let Az watch it.
Yeah,
so
he'll
watch it.
I'm sorry, Az, you have to fall on the sword for that one, brother.
He's not even watching Falcon Winter Soldier, so he probably won't watch it either.
No,
he's
already in pain with Batwoman.
Yeah,
he will watch Batwoman, but won't watch.
Now, again, and Purple, like you say, the thing is, in a perfect world, I would watch a Hawkeye show, but I know what they're going to do with it, with his daughter and all that kind of crap. Like, you know, I would watch a Hawkeye show. That's the big crime of it. I would watch a good show with Wanda and Vision. I would watch a good show with Loki. I would watch a good show with Falcon Winter Soldier. But we know they're not interested in that. They don't care about us.
No.
One that might be a surprise is MODOK.
That is
a cartoon, right?
That's one of the animated ones, and it looks a lot more adult, I think, than people are expecting.
Yeah.
So it might be along the lines of Invincible.
I haven't seen much on that, but see, and you know, I'm kind of sad about What If because the animation looks really good.
Yeah, it does look really good.
But it's What If for the MCU.
Yeah, and they're going to do Marvel Zombies too, and you know they're going to screw that up.
So animation looks good, but I just don't know. You know, and D.O. Berg, long time no see, brother. Good to see you, man. Ash.
Yeah.
Is that Kinsey Taylor?
No.
Don't be disrespecting
looks like Kinsey Taylor to me.
Don't be disrespecting Kinsey
Taylor. That looks like her, does it not? That does not look like Brie Larson.
Well, I literally just typed in Brie Larson, Captain Marvel, and that's one of the pictures that came up.
That looks like Kinsey to me, man.
That is.
No. Kinsey's a lot better looking, and the outfit is better too.
Brie doesn't have that long hair like that. I'm sure that's
those were extensions. She had extensions. Yeah, those were extensions. In Kinsey's outfit, Kinsey's costume is a lot better than that one.
So I expected a worse picture with Brie.
Hey, just leave Cheese Larson alone, okay?
Yeah. And in she's Brie, right? So-called workout videos on YouTube, she's turning into a Twitch thought, you know?
But now, let's be nice, folks. I mean, you know, she's a very nice person. Okay.
Now, Jed.
Well, actually, I've heard she's actually not a nice person because I know someone.
No, she isn't. She's a very
someone who's connected in the
person.
industry. And I won't say how I know the person, but they asked, "Is this really true? Is Brie really that not nice of a person?" She said, "Well, Mark, I can always tell when someone comes into a show how they treat their the people that work for them." And it was a show with all the other Marvel guys were on, Evans and everyone else. They said, they were wonderful to all their, their people and everything. She said, Brie was just so nasty to all of the people that work for her. She's like, that's what I tell, to know if someone is,
I can confirm this with Mark because I had two other people tell me this too that work around things. Okay. They told me the same thing Mark just told me, so I can confirm that.
Did anyone ever see the interview with her and Don Cheadle, and I think it was Chris Hemsworth?
I think so. Was it the Hemsworth or was it Jeremy Renner? One of those, but
one of those two. Yeah,
I knew those interviews, or they were together.
Yes, they did not look like they were all that chummy, really, right?
No, they did not.
Yeah, that's when they were arguing over who was the most powerful in the Marvel universe, and you could see Hemsworth was having fun with it, but Brie was not. She was taking everything way too seriously.
Well, Brie's no longer the most powerful; it's Wanda, so she can go bite a bullet. So
yeah.
Oh God, you just had to mention Wanda. The WandaVision showrunner finally admitted that Agatha was the true hero of the show all along, and that Wanda was the villain. She actually admitted it.
Yeah.
Wow, really?
Really?
And she never read any of the comics either.
I believe you. That's just what a tragedy that show was.
Yeah, and I really love those first handful of episodes. I really do. I thought they were onto something really cool and unique and special. And there's great character performances. I was really intrigued. And then I feel like between how they market it with the lead into a Strange sequel and saying, "Oh, a big reveal at the end," those two things like were the ultimate like misleading things. They should have never led with those things. Because it made us, as comic fans, we love connecting the dots. We love playing our own detectives. We love putting 2 and 2 together. And then they did an Iron Man 3, aka Rise of the Silver Surfer, and made another character an idea with Quicksilver. Like, I'm not even a huge Quicksilver fan, but even I can feel that's absolute bullshit towards the character.
By the way,
I hate
by the
Quicksilver.
rumor, he is coming back apparently in some fashion. So
he'll be Earth 19.
Yeah,
you know what?
in some fashion.
In the comics, I've always hated Quicksilver. By the way, I hate his guts for dumb reasons. I admit. You know what they are? I'm just go ahead and I'm gonna sound like a Raylo. Okay, he stole Crystal from Johnny Storm. Poor old Johnny Storm's heart was broken. That jackass, and so and he was always an asshole.
Oh, he is. I could verify on that. It's just one of those things where if you're a fan of the character, you want to see your character treated as best as possible. And that is like, if I was a fan, I'd be pissed.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, they totally botched the ending of WandaVision, like you've been saying. So, if they'd done it where, she said she reached out and she needed help and, everyone's had tragedy in their lives. And she said, you show that she went off the deep end, or maybe like if Doc Samson had shown up at the end to like, give her counseling and then take her to, the raft or something, or some kind of consequences, not just to fly off. Cause I think they were trying to make her a sympathetic character with losing vision, but, they just let her, fly off. Then you make the guy that was we're just trying to stop everything. Like you guys have said before, the villain, it was a horrible ending.
But Mark, that would have been too much work for them, because that would have actually took writing and actually putting a story in there.
Well, yeah, the showrunner said you didn't read comics. He probably doesn't know who Doc Samson is, right? I mean,
yeah. So.
Purple? What were you saying, Purple?
Ash, just no.
What?
Oh God! What were you saying, Purple?
I was disagreeing with Mark. It wasn't even though that she was, shown to be a villain. She was given positive reinforcement by Monica Rambeau.
Oh God!
Yep.
Yes. No, you're right. It was so. What a damn shame. All that was. Just the whole thing. I don't know. Ash, dude, man, what is wrong with you today?
He drinks some
everyone's favorite superhero.
This is a safe space
coffee today.
Snowflake and safe space. Everyone loves them.
I do.
They're going to be the new faces of Marvel. Like,
I hope they make a movie.
Absolutely, I'm waiting for that film.
Oh my God, that comic never did come out, right?
Nope.
No,
They were originally going to release it as singles, and then they pulled it from the release list, and then they consolidated it to one big graphic novel instead of 6 separate issues, and then they decided to pull that one as well, and it just never came out.
If you think
so they're not officially part of the universe then?
No.
If you think about it, it is the fans shame them out of making that comic. But fans, people shame them out of making that crap, putting it out, because they put out any old crap they want. They don't care what anyone thinks, like usually. But I think the ridicule was just too much for them, even.
Yeah, they knew they pushed the fans over the edge with that one. People destroyed them.
And nobody was pissed off. They were laughing their ass off, saying, please put this stupid shit out. And that was really what it is. It was like, well, maybe we shouldn't.
It was a joke.
Huh? Yeah, we were just kidding.
They're real in my books. They're part of the Marvel universe in my heart.
Oh, they would be.
Oh, my goodness. Kibbles and bits.
I
won't be buying those action figures.
Yeah.
Have fun buying those action figures, Edge.
Yeah. You know,
I should commission someone to make Snowflake and Safe Space action figures just for the lols.
if I were, Kibbles and Bits, he should have come out and said, "Come on, guys, it was just a joke. I made it up to make everybody laugh, even though it isn't true." But he should have tried that to save face. Like, "Come on, guys, you guys take a joke? You're sure?"
Hey, did you guys ever see him on the Millionaire Matchmaker?
Yeah, oh yeah.
That was. He's like, he goes up to the girl and she's like, "Hey," and he's like, "Hey. How you doing?"
He's scared to kiss a girl, yeah.
And then she goes up to kiss him, and he like, I've never seen. It was painful to watch. He's as painful in real life as his comics are. Like literally.
There's more proof that SJWs are parodies of themselves. Because when I first saw it, I got to be honest with you, because I didn't want to believe it was meant to be serious. That this was somebody trolling and this was somebody making a parody. Who didn't first think that? This is pretty funny.
Yeah.
What do you mean? You mean you're not trying to be funny? Are you sure?
And then here's the thing: somebody literally hooked up with this guy and had a kid. Yeah, think about that one.
Oh, are you serious? Really?
Gross.
Yeah, he had a kid.
I feel vielated. Just
I'm not sure.
that information.
I'm not sure I believe that.
He got married and had a kid with
because he's got money. He has a gold digger.
I'm not sure that it's possible that he created a child. I don't believe. I think that's a lie. Maybe through insemination or something. Maybe, but. Maybe through some scientific.
I don't want to think about it.
There's no way. Wouldn't it be funny if, like, 20 years later, that child turns out to be somebody like The Rock, some big macho superstar guy? You're like, your dad was Daniel Cribblesmith. Hey man, it's not my fault who my parents are. He's the next Schwarzenegger, and his pappy is Daniel Kibbles and Bits. Okay, probably not going to happen. Just saying.
It came out of a mustache. Yeah.
Holy shit! Oh my god! This is he did not procreate. That's just not true. That's a lie. No way.
Fake news.
Yeah, it's made up. I mean,
he could have been a donor for spreading fake news.
I guess it could have been a donor. It didn't happen in the traditional way. Let's put it like that.
Yeah, I just can't believe somebody married that guy and had a kid.
Oh, the marrying part I can believe. He's rich.
Yep, that part I can easily believe. That's the most believable part of it, especially in 2021.
She might be the kind of lady who's like, good, I don't have to put up with his crap because he's just like he's another girl. So I don't have to put up with all of his stupid guy crap. I can do whatever I want because he won't give a crap about me.
So it's kind of like how J.J. Abrams is. His wife dominates the hell out of him.
Yes.
Yeah, it's the same way.
Well, Jed, if you don't know how they can have kids, you have the birds and you have the bees, and then the things happen.
Yes, I know.
Obviously, it's the youngest person on the panel explaining.
I already know how they have a kid. Okay.
Oh shit! Yes. Well, there's no need to be embarrassed about it, Mrs. Spock. It happens to birds and the bees. The birds and the bees are not Vulcans. On Gene Roddenberry's old interview album where he interviewed Mark Leonard, who was in character as Sarek, the old Star Trek Lives album, Sarek explains how Spock was really born. And it's all sciencey and all it took a lot of help to have a human Vulcan hybrid like that. And this is probably pretty much the same deal. But it all happened in a science lab for Kibblesmith's
and JJ said too. JJ.
Yeah, Jar Jar Abrams definitely. No way he actually fathered a child.
Did you ever see a picture of him with his wife? He's like a bloody hobbit, and she's like on high heels.
But didn't she start the whole Me Too movement in Hollywood? Wasn't it his wife or J.J. Abrams?
Yes, yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yes, she's Miss Me Too. I think.
Yeah, and so is Kibblesmith and The Rock's wife too. So
well, there you go. That's why The Rock is such a wuss now.
Yeah.
Well, the problem is now it's like the new McCarthyism. You have to toe the line, even if you don't think that way.
She literally turned The Rock into a soy boy, like literally.
Yeah, I mean,
you got Stallone. You got who else do you have? That Eastwood.
Yeah, but those guys don't bend the knee.
Yeah, but very few.
Cool.
Very few, right? I mean,
Yeah.
Well, Schwarzenegger bent the knee.
No,
so, you know.
he bent and
He
stayed
did.
down
He
there.
bent
Oh,
over.
he bent
No,
it.
he's taking the
bent his
juice.
ass over.
Wait. He bent the knee and he took the chrome off of it when he got down there, okay?
Yeah, But he and The Rock are both a couple of punks. Of course,
Yeah.
And it's a shame, but yeah, you can still love their movies and stuff like that, I guess. But it's just hard to imagine being The Rock and actually getting turned into such a little bitty, like
soy boy.
Soy boy
Yeah,
that he has.
dude. It's so weird because like he didn't become an actual Rock until he left wrestling, and then after he left wrestling, now he did become an actual Rock, but he had a side of soy with it.
And now he's Dwayne Dibley. Dwayne Dibley.
He could be the perfect guy.
Everybody remember Red Dwarf?
Damn.
Everybody remember Red Dwarf? And any of you have you seen that Red Dwarf Purple?
Brilliant.
Or any of you? Where
I have. I love Red Dwarf.
Well, the cat, of course, in the episode Back to Reality, when they went in, they were all. It turned out they were led to believe due to an illusion that they were these not what they were in real life, and the cat's like this ultra cool, suave, and sophisticated dresser and all this stuff. So they turned him into his opposite, which was the biggest dork and the Duke of Dork, as he called him, Dwayne Dibley. And when he's told his name is Dwayne, he goes, Dwayne Dibley. Oh, I don't want to be Dwayne. I can't be Dwayne Dibley. And he's later going, Dwayne Dibley? And now The Rock is Dwayne Dibley. He's not The Rock anymore.
No, he's like he's like the Slump or something.
He's just Adam.
Well, The Rock is the perfect person to play Geode in Star Wars.
That was good.
Good one, sir. Yes.
You may have made up for all your transgressions, during the stream.
Speaking of that, everyone. All right, a Black Adam movie, even if they don't change it to Shazam. I'm sorry, unpopular opinion. I mean, I used to like The Rock and all that stuff.
I did.
Did we ever really need a Black Adam movie where he's the lead?
No.
I never thought he was the lead. I mean, him as the Black Adam, like in a real Captain Marvel movie or something. Sure. But why a Black Adam movie? I mean, in the comics, he never really had his own comic, but he was that much. But they did make him bigger in the 2000s and stuff like that. But he's not a lead character to me. He's an anti-hero at best, an evil villain at worst, for the most part, and a good villain. But as far as villains go, but his own movie, I've never understood that.
No, we don't need that. We don't need it all. Even if The Rock never won soy, I'd still say that.
Yeah, I was saying that way before that. I'm just his soy crap that he pulled last year.
Well, I
was saying that before.
Yeah, late 90s, early 2000s, they made him a bigger deal. So.
Well, I think it's all based on how popular The Rock is. He's one of the biggest stars now, so let's find a vehicle for him to make a movie.
Can we? I will say this: can we have just a Dr. Fate movie with Pierce Brosnan? I will go for that any day.
Because I would like it. I would love it. But no, they would do it.
Lord Thought gets it.
Yeah,
we need a Hawkman movie that focuses on the planet of Thanagar with Shayera Hall and Carter
they're not
Hall.
Going to do that.
Now that would be cool to have a full lore of
Black
Thanagar.
Adam movie. You could put Black Adam in there.
Adam. Thank you, Thoth. It's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, why can't I think of a thought? It's like Thoth knew my thought.
Look, The Rock should have played Doc Savage.
I can get down with that.
Not that anyone knows who Doc Savage is anymore.
I agree with that. I agree with that, Mike. I do agree.
Ron Ely was perfect, and he just got caught in a George Powell weird movie, but I still like that movie. Doc Savage.
Yeah.
Doc Savage movie done well, and again, I know it's 2021, everyone, but The Rock could have pulled that off. I think. I mean, he looks like him. I mean, he can be made to look like him easily.
Yeah.
He's got the build for Doc Savage for Doc, and he's a good enough actor to pull that off. I think.
The thing is with The Rock, his acting in all of his films now, that they're too samey. He's got the same acting style across all his films. He produces all the films he's in, which I don't think helps. But I think for him to be, for me personally, an excellent actor, I'd like to see him having acting variety. It's the same thing with Jim Carrey. Like, he's a good actor, and I like his roles, but a lot of his roles are samey. He sticks with the same sort of character type. So I'd just like to see some variety from him. It's like in the movie Journey to the Mysterious Island. The Rock was that huge big hunk. He was doing like the big heavy lifter and that kind of thing. I mean, yes,
even in the Jungle Cruise, Ash, he did the same thing.
Yeah,
the Jungle Cruise movie, he did the same thing.
Well, the thing is, in Journey to the Mysterious Island, there was still some variety because there was a bit where we sat down around the campfire and he sang a little song, and that was quite good to watch. But for the most part, a lot of his roles are very actiony. I mean, I like action films, so I don't have too much of an issue. But it from him, from his talent, it does get boring now and then. Like you see, if a new movie comes out, it's got The Rock in, we can kind of expect what's going to happen. Like in Baywatch, for example, there's in a lot of his scenes there's like big explosions, and he's this big, huge guy. And I mean, I don't think Baywatch ever needed explosions, to be honest.
They had two big explosions running across the screen every week.
Yeah, so like I think we're slowly getting to a point where The Rock is starting to get a bit overrated now, unless he changes his acting style. He's starting to get overrated for me personally.
I want to ask Purple a question, but first I will address Lord Thoth. I'm so with you, except it's 2021. Thundar the Barbarian should be left alone, but other than that, I'd love to see a great movie done well of that because I love him. But I want Purple. Since we're talking about comic book character casting, you and I both share a love of the greatest villain of all time, Dr. Doom.
Oh, yes.
Do you have any thoughts on who, if they were, let's say somehow the universe decided that there's some justice in it, and it crowned me with complete and utter responsibility and a $300 million budget to make the Ultimate Fantastic Four movie, and I called you up and said, hey, Purple, I'm casting my Fantastic Four movie. No one can stop me. I get to do whatever I want. But I want you to help me pick the casting for Victor Von Doom. And we might go unknown, but do you have any knowns out there that you think you might pick for him?
Well, my first pick would always have been Mads Mikkelsen. I think he's a great actor. I think he's got
that's a good choice.
And I think he was wasted in the Doctor Strange film.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, he was.
He's a good one because I haven't really thought about who would be.
They're gonna pick some woke idiot to do.
But I'm talking. But no, this is my $300 million Fantastic Four movie that I'm calling the shots on here, and so I get to pick anyone I want. Now, of course, I can't use Dr. Doom's time machine and go back and pick some people that I would. Again, remember he's going to be in the behind the mask all that time. That frees you up a little bit. Like you can get a voice actor or someone who's great that you're using their voice, and which is helpful. That way you can get maybe an older actor that is perfect for it if they still have a good voice intact, So, for example, I'm trying to think of someone because I love your choice, Purple. I'm trying to think of someone who would really be. You can pick any time. Go with any era right now. Purple and any era. It was still Mads, or is there someone like in the old days you think you might have casted?
Here's a funny one. Christopher Walken.
Not with that voice.
I like Bryan Cranston.
Dr. Doom. Bryan Cranston would be good.
I don't know about his Doom, though. Nah, Doom's
I thought Bryan Cranston would have been a good Lex Luthor.
I don't know if he could do that kind of accent and voice.
Bryan Cranston would have done a Lex Luthor. That's what I wanted him to do.
Right, because he doesn't have that accent.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Doom has a strange, sort of a European type of an accent, like right, Purple? I mean,
you need somebody with an accent to pull it off.
He was from Latveria.
Yeah.
Mads is a great choice. I mean, that is. I mean, he was a great actor. Yeah. But again, remember, you're not going to see him much. You can see the outfit.
The mask.
In fact, since I'm making it, we're going to make it right, and you're never going to see Doom's face.
In that case, it could have been any of the Skarsgård guys as well.
There are a bunch of Skarsgårds, aren't there?
Yeah,
Nathan Lane, Pat, please.
Dude, show it again.
I have that one. I
have that one too.
Dude.
Was that the reissue or the original?
That's the reissue. Look how nice that packaging is, bro.
Yep.
That's my enterprise phone ringing in the background. I actually have a Starship Enterprise telephone. So, but yeah, thanks to you guys that you enabled me. That's my joke. The friends enabled me to buy that. I had to get it. So.
This thing comes with like 10 pieces.
It's very cool.
Yeah, I just got it myself. Had to have it. Did you get this one yet, Purple?
Not yet. No.
And you also need somebody with a commanding voice to play Doom too.
You do, because it's going to be about the voice. Let's face it, it's going to be looking like that. Because remember, I'm going to be doing it right, so you're never really going to see the actor's face that much. Maybe one scene when we, when something happens that he takes it off in front of a mirror, and we see that little scar. Because I'm going to use the Kirby idea for Doom's origin.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I mean, Mads is great. He could probably make that voice work. You think? Well, I guess. Mads.
What about Andy Serkis as Doctor Doom?
He'd be wearing the motion capture uniform if they CG him, I guess.
Yeah.
CG him as a big ape.
Well, Andy Serkis does some really good, and I think he could actually pull it off with, because he's what do you say it when he uses his hands, everything. He's trained to do that. You need somebody that's very fluent with their hands, their emotions, and their voice.
Expressive.
Andy Serkis is very expressive. I think he could actually pull it off.
Some people were talking about Christoph Waltz.
Yeah. Well, the actor, I was gonna say the actor in Doom Patrol, whoever's in the suit, is fantastic. I mean, and the robot character.
Oh, Robot Man.
Robot Man. That's Brandon Fraser.
You know that's Brandon Fraser, right?
Yeah, Cliff Steele. It's not him in the
Brandon
suit,
Fraser.
Yeah, it's the voiceover.
It's the voiceover.
Yeah,
that's not him in the suit because he didn't want it. He does the voiceover.
But whoever's the guy that's in the suit does a fantastic job.
Okay.
Acting the character. Yep.
You are going to need some good movements and stuff.
Yeah, it's kind of like how Vader was voiced by James Earl Jones and David Prowse played Vader. So
it'll be like that, yes. But again, there will be a scene where we'll see his face for a second, and he won't be Julian McMahon or
hell no,
dude from Fan Force.
Fan Force. Oh, dude, CLOBBY, there's a new Critical Drinker video that bashes on Fan Force Stick. You want to see it?
I gotta watch it. I've not seen it yet.
You'll love it. You're gonna love it.
I love him. He's great, and he's gonna be on tomorrow.
I still say I love the Roger Corman Fantastic Four movie.
Somebody has to.
Yeah.
I mean, listen to why. I mean, just because it's better than the garbage they made later. I mean,
it's better than the garbage they made later on.
That's like settled, man. That's like one of those no matter how much you try to polish a turd, the rest of the thing.
Boy, I'm sure glad.
They blew their budget on the last scene of the movie. So
that's like saying I'm sure glad I only had my hand chopped off and not my whole arm.
It seems to be Fantastic Four where Chris Evans was the Human Torch.
Yeah, the two movies. What about it?
Yeah, I was just wondering if that's the film you were talking about.
Oh no, he's talking about the first one from 1993, the Roger Corman film.
Okay.
There's a good documentary on that called Doomed. I don't know if it's still on.
It's on YouTube still.
Hulu.
It's on YouTube.
It's on
YouTube too.
YouTube?
Yeah.
Okay, it was made for Hulu, I thought. But okay, there you go.
Yeah,
so,
there's one on. There's one on. Yeah. So yeah.
That was a Kickstarter actually, because I was a backer of that. So
So
but yeah, I mean that movie is so cheesy, but some of the characters, like Ben, that's Ben at heart, and
he looks like Killer Croc to me.
Yeah, the costume's horrible, but the actors had their heart in the right place.
They did. That's the reason why I like it. They had their hearts in the right place.
The script was so goddamn stupid, though.
It was, but here's the thing: they had their hearts in the right place.
The hearts were in their ass. The fucking bad. Reed Richards, you know why he can stretch because of this script? Because he stretches himself too thin as holy shit. Johnny Storm's a hothead. That's why he catches on fire. The thing is. A lump of rocks, I guess, for some reason. Sue's treated like she's invisible, so she can turn invisible.
Well, that
sucks. It's so stupid. This dude, Roger Corman, quickie, and they meant for that thing to be destroyed. If some dude had made a copy, or they destroyed it, we'd never have seen it. And that circulated at cons back then, and everywhere in comic shops forever. That's how I got a copy before even it was at the cons.
Yeah, me too. And I have the Justice League TV show pilot too.
Oh, that is probably worse.
Yeah, that's worse than the Fantastic Four movie.
Jesus. Yeah, I gotta get that.
We got Frasier as the Martian Manhunter. Let's think about that one.
And then David Ogden Stiers was what was he in that? Charles Emerson Winchester from MASH.
MASH.
Yeah.
What was he in that movie?
They had Fire and Ice. They had Martian Manhunter. They had like
Snowflake in Safe Space.
Oh, piss off with your bullshit.
Nah. That's true. Lord Thought.
You're going into the corner.
Every one of them has been awful.
Yeah, just because nothing can be as terrible as Fan Four Stick, it shouldn't give the other movies a pass. And Fan Four Stick is probably one of the worst movies ever made. And it was filmed
except for Man of Steel, you know. So.
I got them running the same level that and then Last Jedi. They're all right there from and the piece of shit Jar Jar Abrams Star Trek 09. So I got all those together in the same pile of. And in fact, when Flash and I counted down our top 25 most hated movies, not worst movies, most hated movies. Those were my top 4, and in no particular order. But yes, Fan Four Stick. Dr. Doom looks like he's wearing a garbage bag wrapped and he's wrapped in saran wrap.
Mm-hmm.
I almost got up and left, and I'm huge Fantastic Four fan, obviously. Dude, and I'm like, should I leave? I'm like, I should just I've never walked out on a movie. I'm like, I should leave. And at the end, I'm like, you should have gone out and left. It was just
I didn't even bother going. I
gotta admit, I pirated it because my blood pressure could only take so. If I'd been in the movie theater, I'd have been in some trouble.
Oh, yeah. So bad. Horrible movie.
If I would have been in the movie theater when I watched Man of Steel, I would have been.
That I did go to the theater, and I had people looking at me from across.
I would have been kicked out.
Oh my god! I guess I didn't mean I was being loud.
You should have been louder.
What the hell's wrong with this guy? I don't know. I don't know. I'm sorry. So yeah, but movies we hate. Yeah, aren't they fun? But no. I got to admit, though, some things soften up other things. Like if something's really bad, those Sony movies they're not good, but they don't make me angry like Fan Four Stick does.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because Purple. Go ahead, Purple. Sorry.
Yeah, I really liked the Silver Surfer. I thought he was really well done.
Yeah. Actually, he was. And the scene when Johnny chases him's kind of cool. Mm-hmm. I like Evans. I like Michael Chiklis. They just got him wrong for Ben Grimm as a human because Ben Grimm's not supposed to be like, a dumpy old 40-year-old. He's supposed to be the big man on campus. He's the big athlete, like football star, jet pilot, all that kind of stuff. And then he changes into a pile of orange rock. He's, Michael Chiklis would have been fine voicing him, I guess. But I thought that was a mistake. The whole movie was a mistake. Why is Dr. Doom going with them? Yeah. Why is he part of it? Why does he have to have a cosmic ray power? Screw that. Ugh. What's wrong with you people?
But Doug Jones is a fantastic actor. I mean, he was so perfect. Valkyrie's right, as Surfer. But those are the only good, scenes in the movie. The rest doesn't make sense. It's just
they turned Dr. Doom
with a cloud.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, they always
Dr. Doom into the Super Skrull at the end.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But why do they follow the Ultimate? I mean, they've got such great history in Marvel, and they go with it. The Fantastic Four. That was the Ultimate FF, which I've read every issue, but I don't really like. I hate it.
Yeah, I hate Ultimate.
Well, you think the past Fantastic Four movies are going to be bad? Wait until the new one comes out. Have fun.
My God.
We were talking earlier about Parallax being a stupid cloud in that Green Lantern movie. It's worse in the FF Silver Surfer film because that movie's at least like Purple said, there's some okay stuff in it. I'm not really having a horrific time, even though I wish they'd done all kind of things different. And then he shows, and then we keep seeing this cloud thing, and we all know we're not going to get Galactus when you're watching.
Oh no,
right?
Yeah, but, right.
Still, forget about that. Just even forget the cloud crap for a second. At the end, when Silver Surfer finally turns, okay, how did you going? I'm still going. All right. Well, how's he going to beat Galactus? It's still Galactus, even if he's not looking like him. Well, he flies up into him for 5 seconds, and then I guess Galactus just leaves. Wait, why? So I'm going. Wait a minute. How did he beat Galactus just now?
You didn't hear Galactus say, "There's no place like home." There's no place like home.
Yeah, I didn't. I missed that.
Yeah.
It's like, what did he do to him?
Yeah.
What did he do? I don't know. He flew up there and said, "These people are humans. They're really nice. Could you not eat them?" Oh, I didn't know you felt that way about it.
It's the same crap they did in the Green Lantern movie. They got to make things into a cloud.
Well, at least Parallax was evil and had not much personality or anything, but you saw a face and it was a cloudy thing. It was stupid, and it did make a lot of sense that all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he was able to get rid of, push him into the sun as if that should kill Parallax. It was pretty stupid, but and this one's worse because the Silver Surfer just flies into him.
Yeah, this one was worse. I got to agree with that one.
He just flies into him and he's like, oh, I know you guys felt that way about it. I want to eat your stupid little planet then. Bye. What the fuck?
Yeah, that was really bad. I mean, that film, those two Fantastic Four films are my first experiences with Fantastic Four. So for a long time, I thought that huge cloud thing was what Galactus always looked like. Until
I hear you.
Until I found the comics and really learned about him. But yeah, a Silver Surfer just flying up a cloud's ass and then just exploding himself, and it was just weird.
Everyone, I want to stop for just 1 second, and we're going to say goodbye to our lovely friend Purple, who has to run. Purple, happy birthday once again to you. I cannot thank you enough for joining us today.
Guys, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
I really appreciate you. Look, open invite. I know you're a busy person. Anytime you ever want to, obviously on my show and any of my shows, but anytime you want to jump in with the Global Geek Gang and say a few words or hang out with us, you are always welcome. We love you.
Yeah, and like I said before, Purple, you're welcome on our channel anytime too. So
anytime.
Yeah.
Jed,
we appreciate
you guys.
Thank you so much.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
We won't sing again.
Bye.
I love you singing. Bye.
Everyone, the boys.
Yeah, everyone, the beautiful Purple Valkyrie, classing up the joint on Clobberin Times, and we appreciate you, dear. Thank you so much. Yeah. But no, Ash, like you were saying, yeah, it really was. It was nonsensical, in that film, and it was you're watching that, going, okay, you're supposed to put up with a lot, and you're supposed to like excuse certain shit because it's a movie. But you made absolutely no sense. I'm walking and going, well, how did he beat him? I mean, even if I knew nothing about the Fantastic Four, I'm still walking away going, I don't understand what happened. He flew up into the thing and it just said fuck it and left.
Yeah, I was just like, okay, what the hell?
Am I missing something? Maybe I need to go back and watch it.
The way I look at it is Silver Surfer's powers is like a part of Galactus's powers. So he's basically he's channeling all the power that Galactus gave him into one huge explosion to try and either destroy Galactus or just make him go away, essentially.
Yeah,
but it's only a smidge of Galactus's power.
Yeah,
so
he's a gnat.
There's no way he could destroy Galactus. But even then, this is probably one of the few times where I'm like, don't do the cloud thing. Like in Green Lantern, I thought it was, when you really think about it, I thought it was warranted and I didn't have an issue with it. But in this film, no, especially with now knowing what Galactus is supposed to look like and what Galactus's ship looks like and everything like that. So they really screwed the pooch on this one when it comes to Galactus.
Well, that's a good point you make there, Ash, because again, whether you like Green Lantern or not, whether you like that scene or not, you still know what he does to him. He grabs him with he pushes Parallax into the sun. Whether you accept that or not, it's one thing. You know what they're saying. He killed him, but put him in the sun. Fine. Whether you like that or not, from a geek standpoint, it's totally different. You're going, okay, this one, he flew into him and then he just left. Like you get that's an explanation. See, putting him into the sun, that's an explanation. Flying into him and then him just leaving is not an explanation.
it was such a missed opportunity too in the Fantastic Four movie. I mean, think of how cool, you've got Kirby's design, like Ash was saying, with the ship, and then you've got the ultimate nullifier plot,
all that
plot line, and with Johnny going to get that, and I mean, just so much that they missed out on. I mean,
right, and the whole Surfer Alicia thing.
Yeah, and they just you've got all the writing there for you. It's like Disney Star Wars getting rid of the EU. It's like you've got all the great stories. Why are you trying to go with the ultimate FF? I mean,
and that's true. Lord Thought, that's true. The Kirby Galactus, coming. In fact, back,
amen on that one.
I think back in this summer or whatever, my great friend, our dear departed, wonderful buddy, the great Mark C, and I reviewed The Coming of Galactus, which we're going to do we'll get back to reviewing some old comics soon, I hope. It's not saying without Mark C, but he and I reviewed that great saga, the beginning of it. So, and by the way, along those lines, Ash, I know you enjoyed, we'll get out of here in a second, gang, I promise. Avengers Earth, the Mightiest Heroes. Did you ever see the Fox cartoon of the Silver Surfer from the 90s?
No, it is on Disney Plus, I think.
Yes.
And I'll watch it at some point, but no, not yet.
Okay, I highly recommend it. Again, the origins story is kind of wonky because they're telling the origin without the Fantastic Four. It's kind of like riding a bike without wheels, but they did a decent job on it. But I love the animation. So most of it's 2D, but they kind of mix a little CG in. It's kind of weird but fun. Galactus is great in it. It's weird though. There's some scenes where Galactus laughs. I don't like that. But other than that, it's nitpick. It's really great. I love it. It's beautiful. It's like watching Kirby blast onto the screen. It's got this great somber music. It's got all the somber tone of the character and everything. Perfect. It should have lasted. It was going to get a second season and didn't. But the Silver Surfer cartoon on Fox, 98, whatever it was, 99, in my opinion, was wonderful. Short-lived.
Oh, I love that show. So good. So good.
Yeah, they have a toy line out for that. Yeah, bought a bunch of the toys that came out with that. Yeah, that was a cool series. And that had some CGI in it, if I'm remembering right. Or
it had some three-dimensional
bits of it, but most of it was 2D.
like kind of like Kirby did in a few.
Yeah, exactly. Right? It was right out of Kirby too. I mean, it was beautiful. It's a beautiful thing to look at, and the music is fantastic. Again, and that theme is so. I mean, you watch it and go, yeah, it just works. It's perfect for that show. And they had an episode. Harlan Ellison wrote an episode. They had a couple of. There were some kind of weird ones, but they had a really good show. And then ultimately, good idea and good. They had Frankie Ray on there, stuff like that. But and you had it was kind of weird what they did to Beta Ray Bill and Warlock. That was on there once, but it was really good. And Thanos is really great on there.
Yeah, he is. Even though they called Lady Death Lady Chaos in it, so they could be friendly with the Fox rating, they called her Lady Chaos. Yes, I always laughed at that.
Yeah, they had the Watcher. I mean, too. They had.
That was
Infinity and Eternity.
Silver Surfer 1998.
Yes, it is on Disney Plus. Yes.
Highly recommend watching.
There's just one season, right?
Yes, unfortunately, it was like 12, 13 episodes, whatever it was. They had a second season planned. I don't know if you all know. I've seen online where they were planning to have the Fantastic Four finally pop up on there.
Yeah, and I was
saw that.
Bummed that they didn't pop up.
It's just like go ahead.
I was going to say, Ash, have you had a chance to read FF? The Galactus issues or the Omnibus 1 through 100 yet, or 102, or I know you're the young guy in the panel, so just
I gave him so much stuff. Yeah, I gave him so much.
He's basically overloaded my brain already.
But Reed, I think it's is it issue 48? The Galactus saga starts.
Yes.
Yeah, 48 through 51. I think.
So read. If you have a chance.
48 through 50.
Yeah,
okay.
Read those. I mean, those are just classic. And it's not like some of the crossovers that are drawn out over like 50 issues. I mean, think of what Kirby got done in those 3 issues. How much story they told, and it was really well done. And an all-time classic.
Absolutely. And after that, number 51, my all-time favorite Fantastic Four issue.
Yep.
This monster.
Yep. That is one of my favorite Fantastic Four comics. This monster.
I have mine signed by Jack himself. I got him to sign my copy.
Awesome.
Yeah, I got Jack to sign mine too when I met him. I was
don't believe you. You stole my idea.
No, I didn't. You know we had the same. You know we had the same taste.
You had to be 10 years old. Yeah, but you had to be 10 years old when you did it.
Yeah, I know. I met Stan in like '86, dude. I was like,
what are you 8?
Maybe. I was like maybe 9 or 10. I don't remember.
22 when I met him.
Yeah, I met a bunch of people when I was younger. So
I got you. No, I'm just messing with you.
Well, probably to get people to sign back then too. I'm guessing, right? Or,
yeah, they would just sign things just for the hell of it.
Yeah,
not like today where they're like, here's $100.
Yeah, $200 to breathe $300 to breathe Shatner's air for 2 minutes.
Yeah. So.
I got him because all the cool people are in the US.
Yeah.
So. Oh yeah. But yeah, you know what though? Yeah, this is. By the way, I do have one more surprise for Ash, and we'll get out of here.
Oh, Joe.
No, you'll like it. No, you won't. You won't like it. I actually, you know how much I hate Snyder and the Snyder Butt and things like that.
Yeah.
I'm actually now glad the Snyder Cut butt exists.
Oh
wow!
Oh, okay.
Go on.
You know why? You know why?
Why?
A gentleman named Mahler.
Yeah.
Mahler's video.
Hour into that. Half hour into that.
Dude, Mahler's video, 2 hours, 18 something minutes, is a sheer joy. It makes me so happy. It was like it's the most entertaining movie length thing I've watched in years. I love it so much. I'm gonna watch it again. It makes me so happy. It's so brilliant. It's so fantastic. I don't know if any of you've seen it. Mahler's video on the Snyder Butt is absolutely fantastic. Who did we lose?
I saw a half hour of it, and I really like what I'm seeing so far. I'm going to try to finish it tonight.
It's fantastic, man. It's wonderful. It's just. Listen, did you get it rated? What rated? What? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Pass. Did I get what?
Oh,
rated?
maybe this get it slabbed and. But
I didn't. Yeah, CGC.
The issue maybe. I'm guessing is maybe
CGC. No, I did not. I did not get it. If that's what you mean, if that's what we're talking about, no, I have not.
Well, they do authenticate signatures now, which is nice on that service. But I've never had any of my books slabbed. I just like reading them.
I like reading my
I have some friends who've gotten some of their comics slabbed or bought slabbed comics. I've never touched a slab. Nothing against slabbing. You guys do that with your comics if you want. I just never did it myself. I'm nothing against it. I'm not trashing you for doing it, but I don't have a slab book. But I do have friends who do it. I got other collectors who hate them and some who like them. Friends of mine, both. So, but yes, that Mahler video made me so happy in so many ways, and he really pointed out a lot of misconceptions going on about that kind of stuff. So I thought you would be happy to know, Ash, that I do have a use for the Snyder Cut after all. Aren't you just thrilled, buddy?
Well, it's good to hear, at least.
Nah, man, dude, you're a good sport. We all love it. Ash is the man, man. We appreciate you. Bro. I appreciate all of you here.
I'll defend Ashley. I thought it was, as much as I hate, the Snyder Cut and or Snyderverse and that Dark Superman. I was in the movie theater. And I'm saying, what the heck am I watching? When and I'm, all the other people are saying, oh, this is great. I'm like, but that's not Superman. And that's why it's so great to talk to you guys and everyone, because I thought I was crazy, or like, why does everyone hate the Last Jedi? I hate the Last Jedi. What they do to Luke, and then you're considered a toxic fan. But I did think the Snyder Cut wasn't more watchable, although that's
watch Baller's video and tell me that.
Then I'll have to watch that. And the other rant I put in the chat yesterday was R&B went off on Discovery yesterday. So
I gotta watch that.
You gotta watch that because I gotta clip a couple of seconds of those for sound clips where he's just like, just give me a blank good story. He's going off and he says it so well too. He's so eloquent, the guy. So he's got an hour rant on what's lacking on Discovery, which is
nice.
It's really well done.
It's probably a personality flaw, but I do love it when someone rags on something as much as I do. I know it's not nice, but what can I tell you? It's entertainment. I tell you what, you guys, it has been fantastic. I've been hanging out with you as always. The Global Geek Gang is always the best time for me, and I cannot thank you all enough. What we will do now is we're going to say our goodbyes to our fantastic chat. We're going to go around the horn, as they say, and get some. Let's see. We'll start with our first of our guests. The first time on with us, the great Mark D with a C, dude. Dude, I have a Clobberin Times mug as well, but that's better than mine. Damn it!
There's one up on
you now.
There's one up on eBay now, Clobberin. So
I want it.
So go look on eBay. You can find.
I appreciate you.
This is the other mug. So I did I've got my new channel. So thanks for all the support and having me on. I really appreciate getting in on this fun YouTube here. So that's
man,
that's another thing. So I did a video last night on some of the strange, I call them strange things in my collection. So if you can go watch that on YouTube, there's a thing projector figure. Don't ask me.
I have that mug right there. I have that mug. I have that mug right there. The one he has right up.
Let me see that mug again if you want.
Yeah, so there's this that's kind of like a
Holy
plastic.
shit, where'd you get that?
I'm just surfing eBay all through the years.
Oh, I have that thing too.
Yeah,
I have that.
So whatever shows up on eBay, I keep wait. If I see something I haven't seen before, so that's really cool. My kids used to use this when they were little, and then this is the classic. It's Clobberin Time, of course, mug. So there's one on eBay right now. So you go grab it. But
dude, we appreciate that.
So having a great time here, and just thanks for having me on. Really appreciate it.
Well, open invite.
I'll see you Saturday night for Saturday Night Star Trek. Looking forward to it.
Well, we appreciate your participation on that, bud. You're the man. You put a lot of great stuff in there. Open invite to you, sir. Anytime you want to join us on the Global Geek Gang, we would love to have you, bud.
Thank you.
My great buddy, 32 Flavors of Nick Weiser. What you got going on, brother?
Oh man, I got usual. I've got a WandaVision rant I'm going to do on the showrunner real shortly after this, so keep an eye out for that. And I've got, of course, my Xflix and Chill with the ever excellent Latino Slant. The Only at Park Cards with Comics Division. And of course, I got my Friday night comic talk. Tomorrow night, we're going to be talking about the new Jeff Johns, Gary Frank book Geiger. So we'll be talking that up tomorrow night.
I can't wait.
And of course, catch me around on all the other panels I like to join on. And of course, it's been fun hanging with you guys. Clobby, always open to be on these things with you. Thank you. It's been a pleasure. And the chat has been excellent. Of course, Retro Dicky, Ash, Purple Valkyrie, Mark D with a C. I mean, who else? Retro Dicky, yeah. Got Eric Sullivan. It's been awesome hanging out with all of you guys. It's been fun. Look forward to doing this again next Thursday. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate you, brother. Thank you, man. Please go and check out. You can see there's a link in the chat there for Nick's channel. He's got a great channel, and he is a great friend of the show. And again, as always, man, like I told Mark, open invite whenever you can make it here on the Global.
I'll be here, brother. Dude. I'll be here next week.
Well, thank you, man. You were always welcome. We appreciate you, brother. Let us see here. Let's see. Okay, let's see if we can get Retro Dicky.
Oh God,
what you got going on, man?
Guys, just thanks again for having me on the stream, mate. Absolutely brilliant, as always. You'll probably catch me on our channel, the Pop Culture Archivists. We're hopefully having another stream on Sunday.
Yeah, we are.
If we get that all organised.
It's already locked in place. I already confirmed it today.
Yeah, so that's generally where you'll catch me, sort of hanging about. So thanks again.
And it's let's say I'm changing your link name a little bit because it's Pop Culture.
Yeah, they gave us a custom link now. So since we hit 100, so
Pop Culture Aggravated. What is it again?
Oh, sure. So I changed it to the custom link because that one they give you is too damn long, and I hated it. So
I hope I spelled it right. I hope I spelled aggregates right. I have to make sure I did there. So, but let's see here. Now we've got, of course, our good buddy, the great Esh, who has not only in addition to the channel that he and Retro and Jed have, which we'll get that link up in a sec, has a channel himself. So,
yes, I do.
And Ash has his own channel. He does a lot of gaming and different things like that. And I'm going to put it, in spite of his avatar, I'm going to put it there anyway.
There we go.
That's
what
Ash.
you
By the
look
way,
like.
that's I want everyone to know that's actually an actual picture of Ash.
Yeah,
Not Jodie Whittaker.
Can we generate it?
Actually Ash.
I'm a blonde woman. I thought you guys knew this by now.
That's Ash's dream woman right there. So
That's right.
No, but okay, keep dreaming, Jen. Yeah, if you want to catch me, I play video games on Twitch and then upload them over to YouTube. So my Twitch is Ash Singh and YouTube is that as well. And you can also catch me on Instagram and Twitter at Ash Singh, where I talk about all kind of weird and wonderful shit. So yeah, thanks for having me.
Excellent. Excellent. And may I say, Ash, we know this is really you, and you look lovely today.
Thank you. Thank you.
you need some makeup though.
Just absolutely fabulous. Just like, oh my god, my hair is so on point. Oh my god.
I don't think any amount of makeup could help that though.
You're so
you know.
toxic. Let's see here. We've got Jed and Pop Culture Aggravators or something.
Archivist.
Okay, I hope I spelled it right.
Yeah.
What's going on, bub? You and the great Ash and the great Retro have a great channel going there.
Yes.
Yeah, we have our channel Sunday. We are gonna have the awesome Fat Steven on and Rabbi.
Woo!
Yeah,
Nice.
so
Wow.
come on there Saturday.
Nice.
That is gonna be a wild time. We kind of did this on purpose because we want to have some fun. So we know we're like, okay, it's gonna be the three of us along with Fat Steven and Rabbi, and you know it's gonna be wild. So come over there. And I pop up on Nick's stream on Fridays too. So if you want to see me over there and come over there and watch us with Nick. So Nick is awesome. So everybody on the panel is awesome. Go to everybody's channel. Subscribe to everybody. Okay?
Yes,
everybody's awesome.
And I got a lot of links in my description below. My great friends at Retro Blasting and many other wonderful channels, links. Please subscribe to all of them. And thanks. And again, thanks to my cohorts, the great Jed, the great Ash, the great Retro, and of course Nick, and my Mark D with a C, and Eric O'Sullivan, who joined us today, and the beautiful Purple Valkyrie. Happy birthday, my dear. We love you. And I'm going to say a few goodbyes to some fantastic friends who are with us in the chat. The great Lord Thoth was here. Hey, buddy. Again, you had an open invite, man, but I know you were busy. But when you could make it, brother. You're always welcome. You just pop on in. I'll always send you the invite when you can make it. Fantastic. The great Steve Mitchell was here earlier. He had to run, but shout out to my buddy Steve. Minimus Prime was here earlier. Let's see here. A couple of new people that I don't know, but I'm very happy to see you join us. New Bomb Turk. Thank you for popping in. Mike Beat. It's nice to meet you, sir. The great Pat S. Old buddy, man. Good to see you, man. I really appreciate you being here. See if I can remember everyone. Problem Being was here earlier. My old buddy Probby was here. No, it's late over there, so I don't know if he's still with us. Dude, and by the way, upcoming topics. Lord Thought, dude, we're going to do a Legion show. We're going to do a Blake 7 show. And anyone who knows Legion and Blake 7, even if you don't, you're allowed to join us, of course. But we're going to, like we did with the Green Lantern panel, we're going to do that in the not too distant future. Next Sunday AD, as they would say on but not really on Sunday. It's just what they say on MSD3K. Who else was here with us tonight? Before I make my show notes.
We had Snowflake and Safe Space making an appearance.
Yes, Snowflake. Thank you, Snowflake.
And you got Michael
Snowflake.
Lamer. Right
Michael Burnham.
It's Ms. Burnham.
Burnham.
If you want to cook some ham, just slightly burn it. Just come to me. I'm your gal.
The great D. Oberg was here earlier. D. Oberg, man, great to see you. I'm trying to think of everybody else who was here because I don't have access to the whole thing. Alex James was here. That's right. Alex James, my friend.
Alex James. Explore the Multiverse, I think.
Explore the Multiverse. Yeah. Steve Ernest was here, I believe. Was here earlier, maybe? Where's that last
night? I think Fat Steven popped in for a second and pissed
well,
off,
shout out to the great Fat Steven. We love him whether he pissed off or not. Let's see here. There was some other Mr. Andrew. There was some gentleman named Andrew, I believe, that was here. The names go by everyone. I'm old.
Mike Beat. Is that someone new?
Yeah, I got him. Mike Beat is
got him. Yep.
Good to see you. Thank you. Anyone I may have missed earlier, everyone? I am so sorry. I got a garbage memory. I'm old. I'm the oldest one here.
Yeah, I have to remind him all the time. So
I'm probably even older than Mark. Am I older than you, Mark? I probably am.
I'm 68. 68.
That's not true.
Yep.
Now you just lied. Dude, come on.
Holy
Seriously. He means 48, everyone. You are lying your ass off, dude. Come on.
Well, this is one of my toys when I was a kid, you know, so.
What is that?
1970s, Micronauts.
Micronauts.
So I'm dating myself, so that's proving my age by having these toys.
Damn, dude.
Hey, don't want me to start dating myself when I put stuff up there.
I won't even touch that one. The Keely Chow, Roll Tide, was here. Anyone else I missed? Everyone, I'm sorry. I write them down on Saturday nights because it's really hectic, but today I did not. We had a great crowd, though. So if I missed anyone, I apologize. Anyone listening to it on a download. Let's see here. Saturday night, Raquel and I. Oh, look, see, I almost forgot the greatest person ever, the wonderful Raquel Briggs and I. Raquel Briggs was here. I love you, dear, if you're listening. Raquel, I love you. Can't wait to hang out with you again. Saturday night for our Saturday night Star Trek, 9 p.m. Central. Reviewing 4 more episodes of Star Trek, the original series. We're going to review all of Real Trek, which only is 66 to 05. And we're going to do it all. And we're having just a blast. And what a great chat room. Just amazing interactive chat we have on Saturday. It's so much fun. And a lot of that is due to the gentleman in the center screen bottom right there, Mr. Mark D with a C. Never think I don't see what you post, dude. Just because I have to stay concentrated, so I can't. But you put lines from the show and everything, and I see that, and it just tickles me every time I get.
I have a great time doing that. Thank you. Yeah. Well, I can sympathize too, being on the show now, trying to follow the chat and
it's not. A lot of people get mad if you can't do it if you're trying to keep a flow going.
Mark starts performing the whole show in the
chat. It's fantastic what he does. Don't ever think it goes unappreciated, man. I really love it.
Thank you. Appreciate hearing that. Yeah,
it's awesome.
Great time Saturday night.
This week, Lord Thought, the last 2 of season 2, which are going to be Omega Glory and Assignment Earth, and then the first 2 of season 3. These are all in production order, mind you, everyone, and that's going to be Spectre of the Gun and Elan of Troyes.
Yeah.
So, we're going to have some fun with season 3, but yeah.
3.
We're gonna fly in on Saturday. Yep, there we go.
I have that one in mind.
Not 3. Not 3.
I'm holding my broken version of that in my hand right now. I gotta call it. So only Real Trek around here, of course, and then we're gonna do that. And then Monday night, everyone. Carlos, my great friend Carlos of Comic Mania, from Mexico, is of course a longtime friend who's a comic book encyclopedia. We're going to debunk some myths about the differences between Marvel and DC. Our show is called Marvel and DC. Are they really that different? Spoiler alert, they're not really, and I'm going to use comics history to prove it. So anyway, those are the upcoming shows, everyone. Thanks again so much for being here, my friends. Love you much. And Geek Gang will reconvene next Thursday. And every Thursday I can do it unless my schedule, because certain things going on, change here and there. But if that happens, I'll let everyone know.
Okay.
Laters.